Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so what is going on? You know where I was last night, Ireland? I spent a few hours with my great friend, the world-famous Ike from Ike's Lovin' Sandwiches.
Oh, I saw a bunch of them back there today.
So we developed, and it was a scientific process. It was me.
There's a Steve Mason sandwich now.
It was Parker Bell, and it was Matt Burke, and we developed, get this, so he asked ingredients that I like, and then we put together 6 different sandwiches, and I made the sandwiches myself.
Where did all of this happen?
Happened at Ike's here downtown on I think it's 6th Street. I think.
So can I order this sandwich?
Not yet. Don't go and order yet. They're in the middle of transferring the ingredients to all 100 Ike's locations all over the place. I'll tell you what. I brought one home for Juan last. He absolutely loved it.
Can you get? So can you say what's in the sandwich?
I can say. Oh, sure. No, yeah. I can say what's in it.
And there's also, by the way, John, there are Ike's sandwiches in the kitchen right now if you want to try one.
Yeah, just not one of mine.
Did you just not hear that whole exchange?
I heard Mason talking about a sandwich.
I said they're here today in the kitchen.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Okay, so here is the Venice Mace sandwich. It is roast beef.
Cut that.
Good roast beef. What's wrong with that?
Somebody likes roast beef.
Bacon.
Okay.
Pepperoncinis. Red onions.
There you go.
Tomatoes. Pepper jack cheese. Swiss cheese. Creamy horseradish sauce. And wasabi horseradish sauce.
That
it's got a
lot
nice.
That's a lot of spice.
It's got a nice kick. It's got like.
You have two different cheeses in there and a creamy sauce. That's a lot of cheese.
I'm telling you,
a lot of dairy.
And we were I mean, I wasn't thinking about dietary restrictions while I was making.
You're
the
a summer
sandwich.
shred. What are you talking about?
But we brought one home last night. Juan killed it. It is an excellent sandwich. When it goes on the menu, I got to pick any number.
Oh yeah, 23.
I didn't. 23 was taken. 420 was taken.
Of course it was.
421 was taken because I was like 420, and then 421 you go for the sandwich. So we ended up with 4,200. It's going to be number 40. The number 4,200
easy to remember
is the Venice Mace. So we will let you know, and apparently they're going to bring a big tray of these things in here once everything's formulated and they're ready to go. But it is a great friggin' sandwich. I mean, it's really cool because if you look at the board there, like he showed me pictures, Halsey did a sandwich, and like all these famous people have done sandwiches. So it's actually kind of cool.
So how did you get in there?
I have no idea.
Good for you, though. That's amazing.
It must be an official station partner.
Maybe, but you have a sandwich named after you. Is there anything else that you'd want named after you, John? Like,
John.
Not a sandwich.
Yeah, I want the airport.
The airport.
Because if you get an airport named after you, it just naturally blends in.
Yeah.
You know, like you think,
I'm flying into Ireland.
Yeah, you're flying into John Wayne. You're flying into Reagan National. You're flying into JFK. Airport's the best thing you can have named after you. It's even better than having a statue.
Yeah. Better than a street. A street is cool, though.
A street's good. Like Michael has a street. There's a Michael Thompson Boulevard in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas,
But
right.
if the airport's named after you, what airport are you going into? I'm going into
Ireland.
To MT.
MT.
I'm going into Michael Thompson Airport.
The MT.
Yeah, that's what you want.
It was. What was that sound?
Is that you?
Oh, that's the spicy sound. It's got a little spice to it. Yeah.
Why didn't you pull your own?
Oh, wait, no, I don't even know where that one is. The one where I ate the Tom Cruise cake. No, that's a Cody. That's Cody. That's Cody. You know, Bergman mentioned something interesting. Normally we have all kinds of partners for when Mother's Day rolls around. All kinds of flowers and all that stuff.
Right.
Did you know Father's Day is Sunday?
Yeah, I do.
And I mean, I don't have my dad. You don't have your dad. But at the same time, I don't hear like, get your dad this and get your dad that.
Because
dads
I'm convinced,
don't get anything.
I'm convinced Father's Day was created just to give balance to Mother's Day.
Oh, really?
No man gets stuff. I never get anything for Father's Day.
You never get anything?
The good news is I can do what I want on that day.
Now, I always got my dad something. I'm sure you always got your dad something, right?
Yeah, whatever you wanted. But most people, like, I won't get a lot of stuff. Will you? Well, you're not a father.
I'm not a father.
Yeah.
So, no.
I don't get anything.
People ignore me on this day.
Riley gives you nothing. She doesn't like draw you a picture or something.
No, yeah, she makes me something. She draws a picture. She made me like a bracelet one time. Yeah, she makes stuff for me. So I get something. I do get something. I think men only have one day. It's besides your birthday. It's March 14th.
What's that?
Look it up.
March 14th.
Or you could just tell us to
I'm
keep
not
us
gonna
from
say-
looking it
No,
up.
no, no. I'm not going to say it on the air.
What the hell?
It's a good day.
Why
it's a good
wouldn't
day
you
for men.
say it?
How?
Because
Why?
I want
why
you to look it up, and I want the people to look
what
it up.
could we not?
Or you could just save us all from looking it up and tell us what it is.
Nope.
It is the 74th day in the Gregorian calendar.
Oh, see, exactly. That's it.
Is that what it was? When is March 14th
All right,
special
guys,
day?
Move on. We talk sports. Sports. Come on, John. You want to talk sports?
No, I'm not supposed to because Chris Morales works here. So
not.
we're not
No,
allowed
he's-
to talk
it's-
sports.
we only talk-
And it's
we talk
Tuesday,
sports.
and it's Tuesday, which means we can't talk about
Oh,
sports
exactly.
at all. I'll try and not talk about the NBA
By the way,
Finals or the Stanley Cup
can we just
Finals or
say
the Dodgers.
Ireland wants a full-on Morales ban.
I do on our show, yeah.
Yeah.
He can do all the other shows.
Yeah.
But
Full-on
Greg's
Morales
afraid
ban.
of him, so he won't ban him.
Are you afraid of Chris Morales, Bergman?
Absolutely not.
All right, so
There's
what's your
nothing to
vote? I say, but we all get a vote. I say ban him. What do you say?
I say no.
Why?
I like having him on there. At least he goes after you guys. He'll have conversation with. If you want to have a sports conversation with Chris Morales, just say, "Hey, let's have a conversation about this," and tell him beforehand, and he will absolutely have it. I guarantee you today. I'm not going to say a word to him.
Don't say a word.
But at 3:00 when he does come in, I guarantee he'll talk about Dan Hurley.
How do you vote, Cody?
I'm leaving for Bristol in 2 weeks, so there's.
Well, that means you can vote your conscience.
You abstain. Yeah, vote your conscience.
I like
You're
Chris. I like Chris.
I like
So
Chris
you say
too.
keep Chris.
It's
I like
just
having
when
him
he
around.
comes on, we
You
stop
like
talking
him
about
except
sports.
when he's on the air.
He was talking about sports this morning with Travis.
Was he?
Yes.
He was
When
talking
I,
about
when I
it.
was listening, he was just ripping Travis for talking about sports.
That was
Yeah,
also
no,
part
it
of
is true. He was ripping Travis for talking about sports, which is weird. All right, Ireland. There's all kinds of Lakers stuff here. Questionable. One of the things that came up.
Wait a minute.
What? Did you not know what it is?
You know.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard that of you.
Oh no, no, yeah, no.
Now do you know why I didn't
just
say it
saw
on the air?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah,
Now it makes sense.
It's a great day.
yeah.
That is a great.
Excellent day.
How did I not know about this?
Do you think Elisa would be in on it?
I don't know. I think I get slapped if I suggested it. By the way, her birthday is March 19th.
Oh.
So she'd be like, why am I doing this 5 days before my birthday?
Well, you can reciprocate.
Yeah, absolutely.
See how that goes for me.
All right, tell you what, let's do this. I want to remind everybody,
Totally
Mandy's
thought you were making that up.
Mandy's
Not in the
Awards
slightest.
tickets are available. The ceremony is a week from Saturday. Some tickets are still available. Don't worry about where your seat is. There's not a bad seat in the house. You get 2 drinks, you get dinner, you got raffle prizes, you got a swag bag, all that stuff. Plus, hang out with all of us. That is Mandy's 3. Tickets available right now. Go to espnla.com and get yours. All right, coming up next for you. One NBA analyst says there's a clear reason why Dan Hurley turned the Lakers down.
Who's the analyst?
I will tell you coming up next. In the meantime, hey, I was just talking about Commerce Casino, where the Mandys are going to be. You can experience the thrill of the world's largest poker room in the heart of L.A. At Commerce Casino and Hotel. This is where I play. Play your game. You can check out a show. You can win big. The Commerce Casino and Hotel is the largest poker room in the world. Best poker action in Southern California. Always a seat for you at the Commerce, maybe even next to me. The poker action never ends at Commerce Casino, which is why this year alone, they're paying out over $20 million in jackpots. And don't sleep on their great food and the professional and friendly staff, beautiful hotel rooms, daily tournaments. Commerce Casino and Hotel has got it all. And once again, nowhere else would we hold Mandy's 3 except at Commerce Casino. Commerce Casino located 6131 Telegraph Road in Commerce. And for more information and a calendar of events, go to commercecasino.com. That's commercecasino.com. And I will see you at the Commerce, Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland continues now.
I was tired of my lady.
What, we're doing Yacht Rock anyway? Even with no Morales, we're still doing Yacht Rock?
That's a good song.
John still likes Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
I like Yacht Rock.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's just got the stink of Morales on it.
You guys are just going heavy right now. And it's when he's not in here. You have to do it when he's actually in here. I know
Mason
John
says
will.
he's coming in at 3.
Yes.
Will
I
you
got an email saying he's coming in at 3.
Will you do it when he comes in at 3?
Gee, what do you think?
Yes, you will, but will you, Mason, keep going?
No,
on this?
none of
What
three.
am I-
All 3 of you are scared of
Wait a
him.
minute,
so
what
you'll
am I
back
going to
down.
do? I
It's
actually.
not scared. I'm still
I just
taking
want the
his side.
conflict. That's all I care about. I want to see a fight. I say Ireland Morales, ding, 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 let's go.
Why not?
Throwdown.
Let's go.
So,
Sports.
did you see that, of course, yesterday was the day. Now, you totally threw me because I was going to do something, and then you said sports, and now I'm going to go there.
Boy, you teased something. What'd you tease?
So the NBA analyst who says there's a clear reason why why Dan Hurley may have turned down the job. Listen to what Zach Lowe said earlier this morning.
I wasn't surprised, and I'm less surprised now that Woj mentions an $8 million figure from UConn. 8 versus 12, you factor in taxes and cost of living, the thing shrinks, the gap shrinks. And look, like, he's got it made in the shade at UConn despite all the changes in college basketball. He's the king of college basketball. The Lakers' job is not that great of a job. They're a play-in team pretty much every year in a conference that is only getting better all around them, from the bottom and the top and the middle. It's a fight every year just to get out of the play-in. LeBron is almost 40. What's the vision for this team after LeBron leaves? Yeah, they have Anthony Davis. That's great. They have Austin Reeves, some other things. Like, you're not staring at a no-brainer championship window down the line. Every coach gets fired. I don't care how many years they have left on their contract, 2-3 years down the line, they get fired. And, you know, it's easy to say, someone's coming, a superstar's coming, and maybe that will be the case. We're not that far removed from the Lakers being a straight-up bad team for 5 or 6 years. I just don't think this is that great of a job.
I don't think this is that great of a job. Now, I'm going to let you react to
Okay,
that.
he's wrong, and here's what I would say if Zach was with us. In the Western Conference, besides Denver, okay, whose entire core is under the age of 30, and you have Jokic.
Right.
Besides Denver, what team would you rather coach? Do you want Dallas? Do you want Minnesota? Do you want
Oklahoma City? Do you want? Well,
Would you rather? Okay, so you can have any job coaching.
right.
I would say Denver's the number 1 team in the West that I would want to coach.
Right.
Number 2, considering everything,
Yeah.
I get to live in Los Angeles. I have LeBron and AD,
Right.
which makes me competitive in any game. All right. I was not scared of any team other than Denver,
Right.
and that's who the Lakers drew in the first round. Would you rather coach the Clippers than the Lakers?
Which team has a better chance of winning a championship? The way they are set up right now. Most people think Lakers can't win a championship next year. Most people say, yeah, with LeBron.
That's Bergman's thing.
Yeah,
They will not.
Bergman says no. A lot of people say probably not. Now, if you're Dan Hurley and you take this job and you know, okay, my job is player development, so I got to do 2 things. I've got to keep LeBron and AD happy, plus I've got to develop players at the same time. I'm in a short window, then I'm going to go into a longer window. I think it is a really tough job. And by the way, I think Dan Hurley would have been fired in 2 years just like every other Lakers head coach.
If he lost, yeah, probably. But again, answer me this. What team would you rather coach besides Denver? I'll give you Denver.
Yeah.
In the Western Conference, you get your choice of anything. The salary is the same. All right, let's say you get $10 million a year.
Okay.
All right.
And the only thing that matters is winning a championship.
No, everything matters.
Okay.
Everything matters.
So cost of living.
Okay. where you get to live.
Right.
Who's on your roster.
Yep.
What the market is like. Are you the second fiddle in town? Like, you know, in Northern California, the Warriors are the A and the Kings are the B. In Los Angeles, the Lakers are the A,
right.
The Clippers are the B.
Right.
You can have Phoenix
Yep.
with Durant and Booker.
Sure.
You can have
Yeah.
Minnesota with Anthony Edwards and
Yep.
the 2 towers. You can have any of these. You can have Dallas with Luka and Kyrie, or you can have LA with LeBron and AD. What, besides Denver, what's your second choice?
I would go. Well, you've got to phrase this a little bit differently.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
All things.
The answer is Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota is where you'd want to
Wait a
be.
minute, but which do you want to coach for? What's your objective? Is it lifestyle? Is it profile?
Next 10 years.
Next 10 years?
It's Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota's a good job. You
Oklahoma
got to live in
City's a good
Minnesota.
job.
You got to live in Minnesota.
Right. And look at what happened when Minnesota played Dallas.
Oh, sure. I mean, but they're a young team, and you always say they got to graduate to the next level and all that stuff.
Anthony Edwards is young.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert are not
But
young.
you always say you've got to graduate to the next level.
Yep.
That's the way it works in the NBA. So
Yeah.
they got to Western Conference Finals this time. Maybe they make that leap next year. Here's my...
Cat's 28, by the way.
Right. I think they're going to trade him.
So here is the issue, I think, if you're Dan Hurley. Great place to live. Cost of living, high. Okay, those two things, I think, I'm going to say...
Probability of being fired, high.
High, right. Probability of winning a championship, somewhere between low to mid. Low to mid.
Which team you're talking about now?
Lakers.
Yeah, fair.
Low to mid. Yeah, I would say. Now, I know I'm getting fired after 2 years.
If you don't win.
Right. Which is going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as Zach Lowe said, play-in tournament every year is kind of the way it's been here for how long now? 3 years?
Well, since LeBron got here.
Right, since LeBron, we've
They
been
were the
playing
one
in.
seed in 2020 in the bubble year. Every other year they've had to play in.
Play-in, right.
Yeah.
So he's saying it's a play-in team.
Right.
And it's possibly a play-in team, depending what they do during the offseason. I think right now, the way the Lakers are set up, it's kind of a no-win job. It's kind of a no-win situation.
So you would rather have any of these other jobs than the Laker
Well,
job? You'd rather have Minnesota Clippers, Warriors,
Is my
Suns?
goal to last a long time and build a championship program?
Your goal is overall happiness, whether it be professional, personal, whatever you want. The best. You have your
Oh,
pick.
then for sure you go somewhere other than the Lakers because you're going to get nothing but grief as the Lakers head coach.
Not me.
There will be people. Month in, people will be calling for Dan Hurley to be fired.
Fine. People call for us to get fired
but you're saying happiness. So do you
I'm
think
saying-
Darvin was really happy over the last year? Because I don't get the sense that he was happy.
Well, because he wasn't winning.
Right.
I think you need
and
to
fans
win.
were all over him.
We talked about this yesterday. Everybody here is, and Cody's about to embark on moving to Connecticut. We've lived all over the place.
Right.
But collectively, if you took all four of us, we've got like 20
20
places
stops,
we lived.
sure.
Bergman lived in stinking Hawaii for a while.
Yeah.
It was great.
I want to live here, and if I'm living here, I don't want to work for the Clippers.
Right.
I have worked for the Clippers.
Right.
Oh, by the way,
I haven't seen it yet. So you
episode
can't
3
say.
of Clip dropped last night. It's so good.
It dropped at 9 p.m. and I was like,
It's
didn't
you
watch
guys,
it last night.
It's so good.
I'll watch it tonight.
We'll watch it tonight.
You know what the title of the episode is? Let the games begin.
Oh, good.
And they do. It's
Yeah.
really good. But so to me, now again, I have a different perspective than you guys because I've been to all these towns.
Yep.
And I've been to all these arenas. This is the job I would want. Denver is probably the best. Mike Malone's job is probably the most secure / best option to win.
Right.
If all you want to do is win, if that's the only thing that matters, I'd probably go to Denver.
Don't you think that is the only thing that matters?
No.
You don't?
No.
You don't think that that's to me that's the whole point. If you're not winning, what's the point?
Okay, so if you're winning,
Yeah.
you'll go to Memphis. You'll be the coach in Memphis. I don't want to live in Memphis.
Have I got a team that looks like they can win?
I don't know. You had John Morant coming back, maybe.
John Morant.
But I'm just saying, if you won, that's all that matters to you. You'll
Yeah.
live anywhere if you're winning.
That is correct. I think that
See,
Dan.
I'm surprised you say this because when you went to New York,
Yes.
New York's the number one market in the country. It's
Right.
a great place to live. You hated it.
Right, but here's the reality. The reality is I wasn't winning. Nobody was clamoring for me to be fired, right? From the
Right.
moment I got there. That's the way it's going to
Except
be
for the
Dan
afternoon
Hurley.
show, right?
The afternoon show. The afternoon show just killed me. Opie and Anthony destroyed me every day, every afternoon. But other than that, I was like totally secure. I think what Dan Hurley was looking for was a situation where he could build a consistent winner. And it's hard to say, given the fact that the Lakers have been up and down and all around, it's hard to say that he could take this group and make them a consistent winner. That's Zach Lowe's point. Zach Lowe's point is you're a play-in team. How good a job can it really be? And I don't think that's if it's about wins and losses and job stability and keeping your job for a while and getting a chance to prove yourself, then the Lakers probably aren't the right gig.
Well, if that's what you prioritize, if that's the number one thing to do, is you only want to go someplace where you can win, and it doesn't matter where you live, and it doesn't matter who's on your team, as long as you're winning. Like, you should go to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has
a great roster.
They have a good young roster.
Yeah.
Have fun in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but again, it's the rest of the year you live somewhere else, like everybody else. I mean, every NBA player is playing somewhere in the middle of the country and then moves to LA for the summer.
Your argument, John, is not about winning in LA, though. That you're basically pushing that aside. The winning portion of it, you're pushing aside by saying, if you want to win, go to Minnesota, go to OKC. If you want to win here,
right? Well, that's what I would want to do. That's why I want the Lakers.
Winning here would be fantastic,
right?
But
that's why I want to go for it.
In the final days of LeBron, I don't want to make it sound, but it is his final days. He's going to be 40. It's really difficult to see how the Lakers are going to pull together a roster for this coming season that is a championship roster.
It is now.
And that's what makes it a really tough job.
But there are certain people who are up for this challenge. Dan Hurley is obviously not one of them. He doesn't want it.
Right.
But there are people that want it that could succeed here. I mean, if you look at the people the Lakers have 17 championships.
Yes.
If the Celtics win this year, they'll have 18. The next closest team has 7. I mean, that's how much.
Right. Oh, sure.
So if the Lakers job or the Celtics job comes open, and I get offered one of those two jobs, I'm taking it.
But if you tell me I can win anywhere, I would choose to win with the Lakers.
That's what I'm doing.
I just don't think they've got the pieces right now to be able to compete for a championship next year, and anything shy of a championship is absolutely 1,000% unacceptable if you're the Lakers.
Right, but here's the thing. I think other than Denver, there isn't a team in the West that I would say is absolutely positively staying out of the play-in next year.
Right.
I think it could happen to any of them.
But as currently constructed. So you think Dallas, who is now in the NBA
in the finals, could last year, 1 year ago from today, Dallas finished 12th.
Yep. Yeah, but they also made great moves at the deadline to bring in a couple different players, P.J. Washington and Gafford. Yeah, those are huge pickups. And Minnesota is not going anywhere. They are a team, unless they make trades. But as currently constructed, that team is staying out of the play-in. So is OKC.
Here's where you're making your mistake. The mistake is you're making Dan Hurley choose between Oklahoma City and the Lakers. He's choosing between UConn, where he's won 2 straight national championships, and the Lakers. That's what makes it a different decision.
Right. I don't begrudge Dan Hurley. If he doesn't want it, he shouldn't take it.
Right. No, obviously he loves where he is. He's getting a raise.
Good for him.
He's making a bunch of money, all that kind of stuff.
Good for him. But, I mean, what started all this was Zach Lowe saying that the Lakers isn't a very good job. I think he's wrong. Well, it depends what you do with it. I mean, I'd rather have the Laker job than the Clipper job. You don't know if Kawhi's going to play. You don't know if Paul George is going to play. The only reason I would welcome the Clipper job is I have a bottomless pit of money with Steve Ballmer.
Correct.
But the Clippers have never even made the finals.
Oh, I don't know. And nobody's making a case that anybody should go coach the Clippers.
Minnesota never made the finals. Oklahoma City never made the finals. Dallas is in the finals, but it looks like they're going to get swept.
How many years will Dan Hurley get in Minnesota? Let's just say.
If they fired Chris Finch?
Yeah.
Well, they would be a similar contract to ours. It'd be like 6 years, $80 million.
And he'd probably fulfill it.
Maybe.
You'd probably get your full 6 years. You're not going to get your 6 years in L.A.
Well, I mean,
the Lakers are never. I'm telling you, we were looking back at the history between Pat Riley and Phil Jackson, coaches in and out and in and out, from Fun to Del Harris to Dunleavy to on and on and on. Yeah. I mean, this is not a new situation with the Lakers. Even when Dr. Buss was alive, in that era between Pat Riley and Phil Jackson, they still shuffled through a lot of coaches. This is just not a good place for a long-term, a long run.
Right. If you're worried about that, if what you care about is longevity, this probably isn't the job for you.
Not at all.
But if you win here, you're king of LA.
True.
You're Phil Jackson. You're Pat Riley.
The
you're
question
Magic Johnson.
But the question is, can you this year? Can you?
I don't know. Somebody's going to try. We just don't know who it is yet.
Yeah.
But I think that's changed as well because winning here in L.A. For the Lakers doesn't mean as much as it used to. Frank Vogel won in 2020 and was fired.
Right.
Fired.
Yeah, that's true. Even winning a championship, you get fired here.
He did not become a kingmaker. He went to another job. He went to Phoenix. He got fired again.
Right.
So it's not about L.A. winning a championship anymore. So even if you come here and win a championship, you can be fired 2 years later.
Yeah,
if,
that's
if the
actually a fair
if the
point,
players want you out, you are going to be out.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
But I would rather be the coach of the Lakers and live here and try and make it work than go to Oklahoma City or go to Memphis. You would rather go to those places.
I would choose to stay at UConn. That's my choice. Isn't do I want to go?
What
Do
I'm
I want to be a
examining
Lakers
is-
coach or an OKC
You keep going back
coach?
to Hurley. I'm talking about the clip you played from Zach Lowe.
Right.
Zach is making it sound like the Lakers job compared to all the other NBA jobs is not good. I would argue it's the second best job in the Western Conference, right behind Denver.
I don't. Look. It would be cool to be the head coach of the Lakers. You're the head coach of but if I'm going to get a chance to show myself off, to be able to demonstrate that I can coach, to be able to have some time to build something, the Lakers are not the place for it. The whole idea of player development with the Lakers, player development is total BS with the Lakers. It's not about player development.
Well,
it's just not.
it
It's
is-
about finding the next star. When LeBron goes, it's about getting the next star in here. That's how the Lakers operate. They don't operate with player development.
To quote Sedano, two things can be true. You can develop Austin Reeves and Max Christie while you still go fishing for the next star, while you still go after Donovan Mitchell or Jimmy Butler or whoever it is that's going to move. That doesn't mean you can't. You don't develop Max Christie. You don't develop Austin Reeves. You don't work with these young guys. You got to do both. You got to
Right.
do it all.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are a franchise that's always going to look for the next big star. That's what, as you like to say, star-driven effing town.
Yeah, but
that's what matters.
You're saying that like it's a negative. I think that's a positive.
Well, no, I'm
Star
saying
effing driven town.
the concept of developing a program for 6 years and being LeBron's head coach don't go together.
Not for
It's
Dan Hurley, but they
not-
might for someone else.
It's a really I would argue that it's a really difficult job for anybody to try to balance the final LeBron years with what's going to happen after LeBron when you don't have no idea what it's actually going to be. Dan Hurley, player development. Well, that 17th pick's getting traded out anyway.
It sounds like you're starting to come to my side, Mason.
Who
a little
is?
bit. You are.
How dare you?
It sounds a little
How
bit.
dare
It sounds
you?
a little bit like you're coming to my side. and
Explain
realize
to me how I'm coming to your side.
that you're saying it's a tough job and not a lot of people are going to take it, and the right move would be to go and start.
he
creating
wants
it
to get
now.
out of the LeBron business.
I'm letting him. If he wants to walk, he can walk.
Right,
If
and
he
he's
wants to
not going
finish his
to.
contract, he can finish his contract.
He's going to opt out.
And it's absolutely going to happen.
And
However,
he's gonna re-sign.
Sounds like you're starting to realize where I'm coming
No,
from.
not at all.
Because you know how hard of a job it would be. An easier job. It would be a much more attractive job if he was not a part of it. So you can actually play or develop and use your picks.
How
and
many
become
coaches?
A team.
How many coaches do we have during the that terrible dip when we were drafting the number 2 pick every year?
Well, since Phil Jackson left
Right.
in 2011, they've had 7 coaches. 7 coaches in 13 years.
And in the 90s, they had 7 coaches in 10 years.
Right. It's a win or you're fired job.
Right, and even when
You know,
you win,
just
you may be
like-
fired.
Just like the Dodgers. I don't think the Rams is anymore. McVay had a losing season. They didn't fire him. So, the Rams will give you a little runway. But the Dodgers and the Lakers are a win or you're fired job.
Right.
The minute you lose in those jobs, either the manager or the coach is fired.
Or like Frank Vogel, you win and you're fired.
But he had a losing season.
Yeah, but
You can't have a losing season.
he's 1 year removed from a championship.
USC football used to be like this until they let Clay Helton run it into the ground.
Right.
And now, but if Lincoln Riley has another losing season, well, he didn't have a losing season last year. What did he go? 6-5, 7-6, because they played in a bowl game.
Right. Yeah, they
So
did
he
play in a
had-
bowl game.
He had to win at least 6 games.
Right, because
but
Miller Moss had a great bowl
Did they
game.
go 6-7 or 7-6?
7-5, maybe.
It feels 7-5.
But he has, Lincoln Riley has such a big contract that it's just not prudent or cost effective.
Well,
to
that's
fire
what the Lakers would have been doing. Although they would have eaten that contract like they eat all their contracts.
fact
Well,
of the
but
matter-
they might not have eaten a 6-year, $80 million contract.
That's exactly it.
That was what they were trying
Yeah,
to
Lincoln
change.
Riley was 8-5 last year.
Dan Hurley was going to be here, and they were going to give him a runway. He was going
Yeah.
to be here for a long period of time. They were giving him that job to
And by the way,
say-
Mace,
a while.
4 years, for
Yeah.
more than 40 years, 7-5 at USC gets you fired.
Sure. But I mean, it's 1 year removed from an 11-3.
Right.
And you have signed the guy to a gigantic deal.
Right. So that's what the Lakers were trying to do.
Which is
give somebody a runway. So
which
Lincoln
is
Riley
foolhardy.
knew if he went 7-5, he wasn't getting fired.
Nobody gets a runway with the Lakers. You either win or you're gone.
Right.
And the record shows that. All right, you're going to spin the wheel of questions coming up next. Then we got sports graffiti. Plenty of time for you to jump in here and comment on all the stuff we've been talking about. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you listen to the station, you know how I feel about Teranea. It is the best kept secret in Southern California. It is a luxury resort on the coast of the Palos Verdes Peninsula. And as I tell anybody who asks, it's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane. Teranea is the most spectacular layout there is. Once you arrive there, by the way, you never leave. If you're staying for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, they have 4 award-winning restaurants. They have a golf course. You can rent electric bikes. You can go, there's endless amounts of things you can do at that resort. And you'll never, ever be bored.
What about the fancy restaurant? I went to that fancy restaurant.
Okay, you're talking about Marcel. That's the high-end restaurant.
Now,
the other one you would really like is Bashi, which is the sushi place, the Asian fusion place.
Yeah, I didn't make it to Bashi. I went to Nelson's.
Nelson's is the casual, right on the water joint. And then the Catalina Kitchen is where everybody has breakfast, and you just kind of, it's like a typical hotel restaurant, but it's really good. So they have all 4, whatever you're in the mood for, you go there. They have 4 different pools. I mean, there's endless amounts of entertainment at Teranea. You've got to go check it out. Go to the website, teranea.com. Teranea. Teranea. Ralph Grippo, the guy who runs Teranea, I've known for more than 25 years. He will not rest until you have a great stay. Trust me on this. Everybody I've sent to Teranea comes back raving about it. Check it out today on their website. Teranea, Teranea.com.
The most followed.
There's still time to vote on the Mandy's. This is your last week, final week to vote for the 3rd annual Mandy Awards. Will Sleewer repeat as host of the year? Can Mace finally get that most coveted award and be host of the year? Find out on Saturday, June 22nd at the Commerce Casino. Vote for all the awards we will hand out right now at ESPNLA.com. Click the voting page with the Normand Legal logo and vote early, vote often, vote as many times as you want. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand, injury attorneys you can trust. 213-747-2000.
Being convicted of a DUI.
You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
All right, here we go. Cody is on the wheel today. By the way, when's Brian come back?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
This is Cody's last day on Mason and
Oh, Cody.
It's been great.
You've been great.
I loved it.
Yeah. So,
Premier show.
all right. So
Now you're going to go back to Bristol and go to bed at 8 o'clock. Everything closes
I
at
actually
7.
need to catch up on some sleep.
There you
anyway,
go.
So.
the number one selling soda pop in the world is
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Do you know what number 2 is?
Sprite.
Well, no, I think Pepsi's too easy of an answer. Is it maybe something like 7-Up or Dr. Pepper?
I would think Sprite, Dr. Pepper.
Sprite, 7-Up. That lemon lime soda.
Dr. Pepper is officially number 2.
It's great.
It just passed
gotta get
Pepsi as the number 2 selling soda there is.
You know, here's what I'll say about
Cody, you
Yeah.
just
Diet Dr. Pepper is the best tasting diet
You
soda
think so?
out there.
Yeah.
It
Coke
doesn't.
Zero?
It doesn't. Yeah, but
I don't like Coke Zero.
Lindsay's got a whole bunch of zero sugar Dr. Pepper in her office. I need to go get one.
Yeah,
and the
they're,
cherry flavor.
they're great.
Delicious.
Diet Dr. Pepper tastes like regular Dr. Pepper.
Okay, so here's the question. Actually, there's 2 questions here. It's a double wheel. Number 1, what flavor is Dr. Pepper?
You know what it is?
What is it?
You're going to be surprised.
What?
It's prune juice.
No!
It is.
No.
Dr. Pepper is prune
It's
juice?
like 37 different flavors.
Right,
Like that.
but it's the closest thing to it. It has a prune juice taste to it.
No.
Look it up. I'm not.
Dr. Pepper prune juice. You really think it's got a
like
prune
caramel.
flavor?
Dr. Pepper becomes the second best-selling. There's no prune juice in Dr. Pepper.
Despite persistent myths.
Yeah, but that's what it tastes like. It doesn't contain any prune.
It has 23 flavors in it, according to
23 flavors.
how many?
23, yeah.
All right, so
here-
Snopes, that place where you go to check to see what's
Yes.
real and what isn't real, says Dr. Pepper doesn't contain any prune juice, but the belief that it does is remarkably long-lived, having been with us since 1930.
Does it keep you regular?
No.
Prune juice.
No.
No, I don't think so. Soda's not good for you.
Soda
is a liquid death.
Here are the flavors that are in Dr. Pepper. I've added these up. There is cola, cherry, licorice, amaretto, vanilla, apricot, blackberry, caramel, pepper, anise, sarsaparilla, ginger, molasses, lemon, plum, orange, nutmeg, cardamom, coriander, juniper, birch, and prickly ash.
All right.
Supposedly,
The plum.
all that stuff is in
I'll
there.
stick my head in the lion's mouth.
Yeah.
Did you say anise?
Anise, yeah.
How do you spell that?
A-N-I-S-E. You don't know?
I don't think that's properly
No,
pronounced.
it is.
I
No,
think
we
it's
had-
anise.
I
Anise.
do
No, it's
too.
not.
I think it's
anise.
anise.
It's
anise.
anise.
Yeah,
We had anise
I think
cookies.
it's anise.
Yeah.
No, we had anise cookies.
Star anise.
Star anise.
Also said apricot.
Apricot.
So-
What's wrong with apricot?
I used to work with this guy that was a big news anchor in New York.
Yeah.
His name was Roger Grimsby. All right.
Uh-huh.
So Grimsby used to do a thing at the end of every newscast called a byline, Byeline. And he did a whole commentary one night where he comes on. He was this old crusty guy. He comes on. He goes, I went to Black Angus tonight for dinner. And this is what the sign on the outside looked like. And it said, Annis. Is it pronounced Annis?
Hang on. This is officially the lady on the computer.
Annis.
Wow, you might be right.
Yeah.
So Grimsby said he did a whole thing that the G in Black Angus was burned out.
Yeah.
And what a difference a letter makes. And he did it without ever saying, I'll use your word, anise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was pretty brilliant.
Yeah. All right. So the other part of the question is, if you're not going for Coca-Cola, what soda are you going for? Like, what soda do you have in your fridge? I know you're not a big soda guy, but if you're out at a restaurant, you order soda. What do you get?
Diet Coke.
No, I'm saying Coca-Cola's off the board.
Diet Pepsi, Diet whatever.
Pepsi.
Anything that doesn't have sugar in it.
Cody? Sprite.
100% Sprite. And by the way, diet anything is so bad for you. It's worse than regular Coke.
Except it doesn't have sugar in it.
It has no sugar.
It has a sugar substitute.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
You know what is always...
I don't think any soda is good for you.
What is always in our
terrible.
fridge is Fresca.
I thought Fresca was over.
No, Fresca is
Want a Fresca?
delicious.
So when I was in
That's a
high
good one,
school,
too.
this is going way back,
Yeah.
everybody drank, all the girls in my high school drank Tab.
Oh, Tab was
Does
the
Tab
worst tasting
still
stuff.
exist?
No, I don't
Cody,
think
you're
so.
looking
I
at
don't
me
think
like
so.
you've never heard of it. You
Tab?
never heard of Tab?
You never heard Tab?
No.
It was a really bad tasting,
It was like the original
low-calorie soda.
The original diet soda. No,
Yeah.
it does look like it's still available for those looking for an awful chemically taste.
Yeah, it did.
Try
That's
some
a
Tab.
very good way of describing it.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, Tab tasted terrible.
All right, coming up next for you, Sports Graffiti. Here we go, 877-710-ESPN. You heard us talk a lot about Dan Hurley and the Lakers' job and all that kind of stuff. You want to react to any of that. You want to talk Mandy's. You want to talk about Caitlin Clark not making the Olympic team, all that kind of stuff, 877-710-ESPN. We will punch you up. Greg's going to get your name, then we'll punch you up. I'll say, Dan, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Dan. And then it's your turn to talk. You got about 15 seconds or so to say whatever you want. Free airtime for you now. Sports Graffiti on 710 ESPN.
We're Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
All right, Sports Graffiti time. Phones are open. You get free airtime right now. About 15, 20 seconds of it to say whatever you want. And let's start out with Dean. Dean, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Dean.
Hey, you guys. Hey, how you guys doing today? I just wanted to tell you
The other stations in this town are saying that people contacted Hurley, and told him that this was a bad job, that he was besieged with calls from outside entities telling him that this was a bad job. I'm just letting you know what's being reported out there.
Okay, well, that's what's being said. I don't know.
I think
that
for
is
some
sourced
people
at all.
it could be a bad job.
Right.
But for someone who wants a really big challenge and wants to go to battle with LeBron and AD, it's a great job.
Yeah, and I think, by the way, Dan Hurley got input from probably every. I spoke to former Lakers head coaches.
If I was applying for this job or they were offering me this job, I would call Frank Vogel.
Yeah.
I would call Phil Jackson. I would call Darvin Ham, and I would see who would talk to me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Let's go to JJ. JJ, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, JJ.
Hey, guys. I grew up in the late 60s watching the Lakers way back when they were in Channel 9, KTTV.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hate the Boston Celtics with my body. I hated Bird. I hated McHale and Ainge. I can't hate these guys right here, Tatum and Brown, and these guys seem to be like nice guys. I don't hate them as much as they used to.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, JJ. I have a lot of respect for those guys too. They're
it's still Boston.
The guys who have Michael and I's jobs are basically play the exact same roles as Michael and I. Sean Grandy and Cedric Maxwell,
right?
Kind of goof around like Michael and I do, and I can't root against those two guys individually. But the Celtics in general, F Boston.
F Boston is right.
Boston.
Let's go to Joe. Joe, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Joe.
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. I just find it a little...
something.
A little something. All right, let's go to Lance, the legend. Lance, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
What's up, man? First of all, shout out to all my boys in the YouTube chat. John, you're an idiot. Take away the Laker name. You have a 40-year-old superstar who has a chokehold on the franchise. You have AD who's always hurt. You have management who has no idea what they're doing. And then you're over the salary cap. How is the Laker job a good job?
Wait a minute. Do you think Anthony Davis didn't play this year? He played more games this year.
I'm saying yeah, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James played the most games they've ever played as the Lakers, and the Lakers were still in the playing.
Right, but you just said Anthony Davis never plays, and you said LeBron's 40 and over the hill, and LeBron was all NBA this year. You're factually wrong about two of your 3 points, Lance.
And what seed were the Lakers? The Lakers are playing. So how is this a good job?
Because you get to coach in Los Angeles in a marquee franchise, and if you're not scared of it, you can go for everything. You have unlimited resources. You can go get free agents.
It's a losing franchise.
All right, go ahead and go. Hey, Lance, go root for the Clippers. See how that goes for you.
Yeah. By the way, you're allowed to be critical here.
Of course,
it's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I mean, he was.
I think it's really. I do think the Lakers' job is one of the tougher jobs in the league. Let's go to John. John, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
It's funny when somebody calls someone else an idiot when they're the idiot themselves.
There you go.
LeBron James is one of the best players of all time. What is this guy talking about? But let's get back to Rob Pelinka.
Yeah.
How come everything that happens bad to this franchise is at the direction of Rob Pelinka, but nothing ever sticks to him? He's got to take some of the blame. And you know what? This Laker team is not that bad. We only lost to Denver by a combined 12 points.
Right.
For the 4 games we lost. That's a 3-pointer. We're really close. We're not that far away. We need a small guard like a T.J. McConnell or like a Jose Alvarado. We need a guy that can push the pace and set other teammates up. That's the missing piece for the Lakers.
All right, thanks, John.
Thanks. Let's go to Dennis. Dennis, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Dennis.
What's up, fellas? Shout out to Bergman. The man deserves a damn raise. All right? Second, F Boston, hands down. But the real issue here is forget Dan Hurley. What's up with Shams and Woj? Who can you trust? As a Laker nation, as a Laker fan, who are you trusting? I've been hearing Woj is a Laker hater. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think he's a Laker hater, but he was very close with the Hurleys. For people who don't know, Woj's first book was about Danny and Bobby Hurley's dad, who's a really famous high school coach from a school called St. Anthony's in New Jersey. So Woj won this battle. Everything that's been reported about the Laker head coaching job, Woj has been 100% accurate.
Yes, correct.
Shams has
but
not.
I don't think he's been hating on it. He's been reporting information. I don't think LeBron has a take necessarily on I love the Lakers. I hate that's not his department. Let's go to Oscar. Oscar, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Oscar.
F Boston. If the Lakers hire J.J. Redick and draft Bronny, I'm going to take a couple years hiatus from the Lakers until LeBron's there. I respect him, everything. He's a great player. He's been playing great, but I think it's time for to move on from him.
Oscar, enjoy your hiatus.
Yeah, I was going to say, Oscar, you need to go find another team to root for because LeBron's not going anywhere.
And JJ's, I still think, is going to be the coach, and I do think they're going to take Bronny. Let's go to Eric. Eric, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Eric.
Hi, guys, gentlemen, and Mason. Two things. If my choice is dying of thirst or having a Dr. Pepper, I'm choosing dying of thirst. It's a much less painful way to go.
Wow. Okay.
Is a vile, nasty liquid. Second, thank you for 45 years of Cubs on Skates. Disappeared 12 years ago today when the Kings finally celebrated and got the most loyal and passionate fan base in Southern California.
The anniversary,
Cubs,
sure.
Finally, thank you.
Oh, is that it? This is the anniversary of the Kings' first cup.
The first cup, yeah. Let's go to Eddie. Eddie, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Eddie.
Yo, snaps, I'm on. I didn't even know that. F the Celtics for starters.
Yep.
Oh, damn. And honestly, everybody's tripping, man. Lakers is the best job to have. I don't know what everybody's tripping on. We got LeBron. We keep him all. I don't know. I'm shocked I'm on, to be honest with you. I wish I had more time to really think about it, but damn, I'm
That's
on.
all right.
Thanks, Eddie.
No, he was just tripping.
Congratulations for coming on and saying, "Ooh, I'm on."
Ooh, I'm on. I didn't expect to be on. No, everybody's tripping is his point. Everybody.
I don't think everybody's tripping. You're allowed to be critical of the Lakers if you want to be.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a great job for the right person. The right person's just got to make himself known.
At some point, I will agree with one of those callers. At some point, there has to be accountability with Rob Pelinka. I mean, and Jeannie. The coaches have come and gone.
Wait a minute. How many times have we talked about this? Your owner is your owner.
Right.
Whether you like Jeannie
I'm
or
not complaining
mad
about
at her.
Jeannie, but she is part of the management of the organization.
Right. But I mean, as Clipped has shown,
right.
It takes an extraordinary event to remove an owner.
But it doesn't take an extraordinary event to remove Rob Pelinka.
I think they look at him as part of their family.
So, okay, that's fine. But if Rob Pelinka is the one hiring all these coaches and they're all being fired, and he's the one that's bringing in Russell Westbrook, and he's bringing in all these other players that are not fitting and not working, then isn't that on Rob Pelinka?
Right. But again, you have to look at who's in charge of. Do you see any scenario, either one of you, where Jeannie would remove Rob?
So, okay, whether or not that's the case, the fact
the answer is no.
I'm asking.
But she shouldn't be as entrenched in that.
But here's
you have to look at above. Eventually, that's why we're wanting to get rid of Dave Roberts. You need a different voice in the room if they don't win a World Series. Eventually, it has to go even higher than that. This is with the Lakers, with Rob Pelinka, over and over and over again. Fired coach,
Right.
Rob, bad trades, all those things. It's on Pelinka.
Championship. Wait a minute. It's championship or bust if you're a coach.
Okay.
But if you're a general manager, you fall into a different category.
1 year ago, literally 1 year ago, he completely reshuffled the roster and they made it to the Western Conference Finals. And you guys already want him out?
Wait a minute. That's what they did to Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel won a championship, got fired the next year.
When they had a losing season.
Look, it's too many years in the play-in tournament. The Russell Westbrook trade was a disaster. They shouldn't have traded the 2020 roster, which essentially he did. I mean, there are lots of reasons, but Rob Pelinka, it shouldn't be hands-off with Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka should be...
Okay, you say it shouldn't be, but isn't it?
It's not for me.
Right. But isn't it in reality? If we're going to deal in reality.
Oh, you're just saying Jeannie's going to keep him no matter what.
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think she is. I think it's. I don't necessarily think that's the right thing. I mean, it's hard to tell right now how much is Pelinka and how much is Rich Paul / LeBron. How much of the decision making lands in each column? I would argue that Rob hires the coaches and LeBron fires them.
Why do you want somebody in there that's going to undermine everything that you do if you're Rob Pelinka?
This is just the reality of it.
Sure,
you're in the LeBron
business. This is Donovan Mitchell got J.B. Bickerstaff fired.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay. This isn't
Giannis got Adrian Griffin
correct.
fired.
This isn't unique to LA.
No, not at all. This is a players' league.
It's not about, and again, but back to the Rob thing. If it's not about Jeannie what she's going to do. It's what she should do.
Yeah,
is put blame onto Rob Pelinka. There's zero blame on Rob Pelinka right now.
It is true. Rob Pelinka receives no criticism except during sports graffiti when a caller sneaks through and says something about Rob.
Yeah, I think that part of this is that fans, and you guys are guilty of this in this case, I would argue, have very short memories. Last year, the way Rob rebuilt the roster and got him to the Western Conference Finals should have got him Executive of the Year votes. This year, it didn't go well. They got it knocked out in the first round.
But last year, Darvin got him to the Western Conference Finals
and
then got canned.
Or did LeBron?
Well, I mean, coaches don't get credit?
Well, I think they get too much credit when they win and too much credit when they lose.
I think the best way to say this is Rob hires the coaches and LeBron fires them.
Well, I think that
he pulls the plug on him, I'll say.
In the case of Darvin,
I think he lost the confidence of the team.
Let me how should I word this without getting myself in trouble? Let's just say it wasn't just LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a ton of reports that came out and they named it. They said that Austin Reeves didn't understand what Darvin.
Some people
was doing.
said the moment he went with that weird starting lineup with Cam Reddish and and Torian Prince that he lost everybody. Nobody knew what he was doing.
He went Vando and
Cam Reddish,
and they
split
him.
I can lend some perspective to that. The players felt, at least the ones I talked to, that they. The players felt that the guys who led them in their run to the Western Conference Finals the year before
correct,
were unnecessarily dismissed or benched this season. In other words, think about what got hot when they got hot last year in the Western Conference on that run of the Western Conference Finals. They knocked out Memphis.
Right.
They knocked out Golden State. They get to Denver and they got swept by a buzzsaw. But those games were close. Rui Hachimura, great in the first two series.
Sure.
Austin Reeves, great. D'Angelo Russell, really solid. This year, all three of them benched. Why?
It's a fair question.
They weren't playing very well at the beginning of the season.
Right, but
like
did
Reeves
they deserve?
was not hitting anything.
Did they deserve to get benched?
No, I mean, well, at the time, sometimes you have to get benched to play well. I'm not like.
But he put a lineup on the floor without enough.
It was
offense.
wrong. He was trying to go very defensive heavy, and it was the wrong decision. But also, when you move guys like D'Angelo Russell, who were not shooting the ball well at all until around February,
right?
That was when he started to actually go on fire.
Right.
But before that, he should have been benched.
But if you're the players,
Rui should have been benched until he was in the.
But if you're the players, you're wondering, hey, last year we kind of caught lightning in a bottle with this.
Why did we
with
shuffle
these
things
five
around?
people? Why are we breaking these five people up?
Yeah.
That was their argument.
Sure, it's probably the
It's a fair
right
point.
one, but at the same time, like the coach has to be able to bench people that he thinks.
Let me ask
are
you
not
this.
playing well.
Let me ask you this: is it fair to put Rob Pelinka on the clock now?
I
He's
think
going to
fans
hire a new head coach.
I think fans can do anything.
Right. Well, and that's what we're going. I think. Look, Pelinka is in part responsible for a lot of what we're seeing right now, but there's no real accountability. And I think fans are rightfully, and Rob's going to, obviously, he's going to run it back and put together a new roster for next year, and he's going to hire a head coach and all that stuff. But at some point, it is Rob. Rob is the president of basketball, or whatever, vice president of basketball operations, president of basketball operations. He's the guy. It's got to come to his doorstep.
I think what you're saying is logical, but it's not accurate.
In what way?
I don't think they're going to hold him accountable for that. I think they worked.
So Rob gets to do whatever he wants, even though they lose.
Well, they lost this year. They
Right.
didn't lose last year.
Well,
they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals
right.
as the 7th seed.
Right, but there's a
Right.
guy hiring all these head coaches that we talk about.
Right.
And that's Rob.
Yeah, but I mean, you can come on the air and say he has to go. It's him. He's the problem. It's just not how they look at
Right,
it.
but I did it with Darvin, and Darvin's gone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a huge get rid of Rob Pelinka movement at the moment, but I just think at some point he is going to hire a coach. at some point he is going to put players around LeBron and AD. And there should be some accountability for that. Maybe Rob gets to do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter win, lose, or draw. Rob is friends with Jeannie, and Rob's going to be part of the family, and Rob's not going anywhere. That doesn't mean that's the way it should be.
Fair enough. But, I mean, it's kind of the way it is.
It's the way it is, but at the moment, it's the way it is. All right, coming up next for you, John, actually, I just dumped a drink, but
You haven't done that in a long time.
I haven't done it in a long time. Would a near-death experience change the way you approach life? We'll do that coming up next. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, Mirror Audio Video has been serving LA sports fans for more than 40 years. Why? Isaac and Roy and the team at Mirror can deliver for you products and services that others just don't offer. Cutting-edge home automation from Crestron, Lutron, and Control4. You want to have one-touch control over everything from your pool to your lights to your window shades? Mirror is the place. Better, faster Wi-Fi? Got to be Mirror, and I can't stress this enough. World-class customer service. You know when you call some big company and they throw you into phone jail? Not going to happen with Mirror. Try it right now. Trust me. 310-234-4010. You call that number, 310-234-4010. Isaac or Roy picks up the phone, and just like that, you're taken care of. So do like we do. Call Mirror. Tell them Mason and Ireland sent you. They'll hook you up for sure. 310-234-4010. That's Mirror Audio Video in Westwood.
Just being arrested for
Radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
I just dumped an entire Trenta iced tea.
Now, in the early years of Mason and Ireland, you did this fairly regularly, but I can't remember the last time you did.
It's been a while.
Like 2 weeks ago?
It's been a while. Well,
I don't know if it
might have.
Did you 2 weeks ago?
Once a great. It's not very often.
It was like 2 weeks.
It's not very often.
But you have stopped.
The thing that sucks is I spilled all the tea on my jeans. Now I've got to wash my jeans again. I just washed them, and I just started to get them comfortable again. And now all of a sudden I'm going to have to wash them again.
That's the worst. You get your jeans into a perfect spot.
And then you spill some.
And then
now
you spill it, and then they get all tight.
How
and
often
you
do you wear? How often
my pants
between
like
when you
decent, man.
wash your jeans?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
For me, twice a month.
twice a month.
Twice
is
a
good?
month? That's a lot. Once a month, I think.
Yeah. Now I got to wash these covered with red friggin' tea. All right. So Darren Waller, who is a former Raider, spent this last year with most recently with the New York Football Giants. Talked about he retired this week
at 31.
And he dealt with addiction issues, and he dealt with a really, really scary medical situation. And so he elected to retire and say, that's it. Here is a little bit of what he said upon retiring.
Clear, I almost just lost my life. And I don't know if I really feel like if I would have died that I would have felt great about how my life was going if I died at the time. I'm doing something that I found a lot of joy in and have had amazing moments with. But the passion has slowly been fading. I've made the decision that I'll be retiring from the NFL. There's eternally grateful for the game of football. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation or to think things through or be self-reflective if it wasn't for an opportunity to save my life and go to rehab, which the NFL offered me.
Okay. All right. So he had an experience where life was very fragile and where he wasn't sure if he was going to make it, and he immediately decided, or after some thought, decided that's it. I'm going to do something different with my life. Now, I think you put it on our email today as if you had an experience like this, would you change everything? Would you change your job? Would you retire? Would you do any of that stuff?
I think I probably would. It's hard to say because I didn't go through what Darren Waller went through.
Right.
But yeah, I think when you have an experience like that, you reevaluate everything. You realize that we're not all of us, you and I at least are closer to the end. We're on the back nine. I mean, we're closer to the end than we are to the beginning.
Yeah, I'm on the ninth.
I mean, other than Cody, everybody here is probably in the second half.
Yeah.
Greg's, what are you, 40?
40.
You may have another
you
half.
may be at the end of the second
80,
quarter.
you should be okay at 80.
Yeah. That should be fine.
Although your dad didn't quite make 80.
My dad
made
away
83.
My dad died at 74.
Okay, so and you don't know when your number is up. So if I went through something like and Darren Waller's had some other things happen too. He's had some injuries. He married Kelsey Plum, the Aces guard, and they got divorced after just a year.
Yep.
So I mean, you throw that into the mix, and
you would retire.
What I heard reading between the lines there, what I heard was, you only get one life. When I almost died this year, I thought, if I died, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing that I don't feel great about.
Right.
I need to switch it up. So I think it takes a lot of guts to walk away. I put it in the email. What is he? He's walking away from a $200,000 signing bonus and then millions in guaranteed salary, like $10 million this year.
Yep.
If he would have played for the Giants. So it takes a lot to walk away from that. And if he doesn't feel like he has, I think he used the word passion. If he doesn't feel like he has passion, he should retire, because football's a dangerous game if you're not into it, if you're just going through the motions. So I wish him well. I mean, Greg, 1 year for us, he caught 107
He was
passes.
unreal that 1 year for the Raiders.
In 2021, I think he got. Well, I think he was a Pro Bowler like 3 times.
Yeah, he dropped a lot. Either way, I feel bad for him, and I think it's kind of like a little bit of a cry for help. But at the same time, you have to listen to what life tells you. When life tells you it's time to move on from something, you have to listen to it. Because if he's like John, what you said, if you're not actually into the game of football, you're going to get hurt.
If he's not enjoying it, then why continue to do it?
Get out.
It sounds like that was he said his passion went down every year.
If you're competing at the highest level, like these guys in the NFL, you have to be dialed in.
Your heart has got to be in it, man.
Right. If it's not like if Danny Hurley doesn't want to coach the Lakers, I'm glad he turned it down.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of people that would look at that and gone, $70 million? I got to take that.
Right.
And try it and see what happens. But if your heart's not in it, good for you for turning it down and good for Darren Waller for retiring.
If I had a near-death experience, you know what I would change? Nothing.
Really?
I would still show up here every day. This is one of the fun parts of my life is going on the radio and BSing and doing my podcast and BSing. And I mean, that's
all right. This from Radio Michael fan.
Yeah.
Mason.
Yeah.
Would a near-death experience change the way you approach life? Me. When are you guys going skydiving?
But you
Next
like
month.
this. But you like this. You love this. Darren Waller didn't. So if you hated what you were doing here, you're just going through the motions every day when you're here.
If I hated it, I would have left a long time ago. It wouldn't have taken a near-death
But sometimes
experience.
it's not that.
the
I mean,
point,
like
yeah.
I have great jobs. I have 2 or 3 of them. I love them all. But
do you have a third job we don't know about? What's your third job?
Well, I mean, when I was doing TV, I had 3, and then now I'm down to 2, and I've never had 1.
Right.
But the interesting thing is, and maybe this partially affected Darren Waller's decision, is I don't have a great life outside of work. I'm always working, so I'm always trying to find time to have a life. And maybe Darren Waller was like that. Like maybe he tried marriage, didn't work.
Right.
You know, Kelsey Plum seems like you never know what goes on between 2 people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems really smart, really attractive. You know, like you'd want to try and make that work, and it didn't. And so now I think he's reevaluating it. If you have failures like that, you reevaluate everything.
Right.
And if his heart's not in it, he should retire, even though he's only 31. And you know what struck me about that story was more and more players now, at least 2 or 3 a year, who are 30 or younger.
Yeah, younger.
Are just saying, I'm not going to. I remember when I walked out of the movie Concussion, the Will Smith movie, and which is about how many players have CTE. Mm-hmm. It's probably the majority of them that played, like Marcellus, who we used to work with, is afraid he has CTE. Billy Ray Smith, who I used to work with, I fear he might
CTE,
have that.
Yeah.
So if you look at that and you say, you know, I want to have a life when I'm 50 or 60. I want to be able to like have grandkids and go vacation and spend time and do stuff. Football may not be the path for you.
Right. Yeah, you got to be all in, and you know, there's a huge risk when it comes to playing football. I mean, there is, as you mentioned, a cumulative.
You pay for it with your health.
Yeah, over a period of time. So I understand why guys are wild. And you know, it's funny. I was talking to Juan about this weekend, and I think you're going to react the way he did. I said, "What's the difference between $15 million and $100 million?"
I think that's an easy answer. $85 million.
Sure. But I mean, does it? If you've got $15 million,
So is this the Hurley example? Like he's making plenty of money.
No. Okay. I'm saying like if you have $15 million, you're set for life.
Some people.
I would be set for life at that number. I think if you can't make $15 million last, then but $100 million. I don't know that your life changes that much between $15 million and $100 million, does it?
Mine would.
Yours would?
Yeah.
What would you do different?
I'd have $85 million more dollars.
Right, but what would you?
Not living in an apartment in the
how would
valley.
you spend them? No, I'm giving you $15 million.
Okay. I'm still not living in an apartment in the valley.
If I give you $15 million, and I give you $100, does your life change between 15 and 100?
Not as much as going from what I make now in $15 million, but you still does change because you can do a lot more, go travel more.
Yeah,
buy
I've always said
cars
that
and things.
people who say money isn't everything have never had a lot of money.
Well, that's most people.
Yeah, I mean, if money solves a lot of problems.
It does.
It doesn't solve them all, but it solves a lot of problems.
It does not guarantee you happiness.
Oh, not at all. Like there's been studies on this, and you can read up on it if you want to go down the rabbit hole. I think I read 70% of people that win the lottery are unhappy within 5 years.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, which is weird. I had a friend of mine, college fraternity brother, that won the lottery when he was 24, $3.2 million.
Really?
Yeah, ran through it in 5 years.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah, people do that.
Because everybody comes out of the woodwork and asks you for money.
Hit you up for money,
yeah.
exactly. All right, coming up next, how about this? James Cameron, is he right about the future?
What's he saying?
I will tell you coming up. In the meantime, life's journey has got its highs and its lows, and the LA County Department of Mental Health is there to support you through it all. It's amazing the number of times we talk about athletes and mental health issues. It's become a priority, and it should be yours. Your mental health journey is personal, and sometimes you need help with it. And the LA County Department of Mental Health is there to support you with service referrals and crisis counseling, or if you just need somebody to talk to 24/7. 800-854-7771. That's 800-854-7771. You can also visit their website at dmh.lacounty.gov. Your mental health is their priority. Let them be your support on this journey. Together, let's shape a brighter tomorrow with hope and recovery and well-being. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
G's of LA Sports Radio.
And now you have a,
this is not a hot take.
Greg
Yours
strikes
is,
again.
yours is, We're here each weekday, 12:55 p.m. till 3:55 p.m. You don't want to miss a moment, yo.
Yeah, from now on, we're going to call people out when they're soft, Greg.
That's fine, man. Go right ahead. More of Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Dan Hurley decided not to take the Lakers job while this song was playing at Madison Square Garden Saturday night.
You know, Greg, one time Lisa and I were supposed to go to a Billy Joel concert with Mason and Juan. And Mason
threw up all of her shoes?
No, Mason had too many gummies and threw up on his shoes and never made it.
Never made it to Billy Joel.
Yeah. How could you miss Billy Joel? Billy Joel in concerts actually.
Plus, it was Billy Joel at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, with Gavin DeGraw and I'm trying to remember who was in the middle of that. Maybe I'm trying to remember.
I'm sure
Gavin
it's somebody
DeGraw.
good.
It might have been Maroon 5. I'm
Really?
trying to remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I missed
there were
out.
like 3 of them.
I got rocked that night. Just rocked.
I felt bad for your shoes.
Billy Joel's coming back. I think actually Billy Joel is one of the first concerts at the Balmer Dome, I believe.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard Bruno Mars is going to open it.
Yep.
And then Billy Joel's coming in.
And then Usher, I think, is in right after that. So the Balmer Dome. When does it officially open?
I don't know, this year coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think I can ever see Billy Joel now.
Why?
I think that's only going to bring me to Dan Hurley for a little
Oh,
while.
that's
I need to
right.
get past the Dan Hurley of it all.
Dan Hurley
and
has
then-
ruined Billy Joel
Yeah.
for all of us.
I know. Well, We Didn't Start Far was a good song. Piano Man was a good song. Not anymore.
Yep. All right, so I want to tell you about, is that just you randomly going, Cody?
It's a drop.
Yeah, it is. Oh, is that a drop?
drop, yeah.
All right.
It's very
funny. That's another one. All right, so I want to tell you about a guy named, let's see, he's got a very complicated name. It's, his last name is Kojitawa.
Okay.
And he's Daniel Kojitawa. He is a former researcher in OpenAI's governance division. Okay. So he has come out and he's done an analysis, and he now says that there is a 70% chance AI will wipe out the human race. 70% chance.
What's the main reason why that would be?
Believes the probability that advanced AI will destroy or catastrophically harm humanity. A grim statistic. By the way, there's a statistic for this. The P-Doom. P-Doom in AI circles says that 70% chance. He says that they are reckless, that nobody's paying attention to how things are rolling out, that this machine learning is continuing to learn, and it's going to get very dangerous. He says the world isn't ready. We aren't ready. I'm concerned we're rushing forward regardless and rationalizing our actions. 70% chance that we hit P-Doom where
AI
takes us out, John.
Yeah, it's always something. You know, everybody.
Oh, it's just always something.
It's always something like AI is going to take us out. The robots are going to take us out.
So you used to think that. Have you backed off of that now?
Do I think that AI is going to end the world as we know it? I do not.
There you go.
Well, not right now.
Well, no, but do you think AI is someday going to end the human race?
When AI and robots are combined and become
and
that's the end of the human race.
sentient beings, then yes.
Well,
I do think
sentient
so.
beings is the key to the whole
And they're all
thing.
going to talk like Scarlett Johansson, and she's going to sue and make a lot of money over it.
Did she win money?
The case has not gone to trial yet, but most lawyers think she will. They think she'll be favored.
Yeah, I listened to it. It does sound like her. It does sound a lot like her.
She has a distinct voice too.
Oh, she does. That little bit of a rasp in her
raspy.
voice.
I love that
Yes,
little
nice.
raspy.
So you, P-Doom, 70% chance. Are you the P-Doom crowd?
It's going to take time.
You're a P-Doomer?
It's not happening in the next 10, 50, 30, 45 years.
Well, then I thought you were going to say 15, 45 minutes. I thought this was
10,
like
15,
before we
45
get to
years.
game of games.
I went all over the place. Why do you have to go in order? Why does it have to be 15 to 30? Or why can't we just say 15, 45, 25?
Well, you
Why does
said
it
10,
matter?
15, 45.
I said 15, 45, 35. Like I'm kind of bouncing around. It
Right.
could be at any time. Doesn't matter if it's in order.
So, you know, when
It's not
I hear
numerological.
that it might happen in 45 years, you know what I think? Not a me problem.
Exactly. You will be dead. You will be dead. I hope I'm dead.
Yeah.
But it'll happen.
Yeah. All right. Going to do some What's Up Fool next. By the way, Ireland, Morales stopped in here a while ago and said, I'll see you at 3.
Can we, Greg, just declare this a combo plate. today.
Can't. Tomorrow's a combo play.
Tomorrow's
Tomorrow
a
is
combo play. Oh, yeah,
That's
Michael
right.
and Pepe are both coming in tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be fun. Woohoo! All right, so what's up, fools? Next, Mason and Ireland, 7:10 ESPN.
All right, let me tell you about Bibigo. It's the official game day snack of the Lakers. Mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. Keep your freezer stocked with Bibigo for a delicious meal. They're Korea's #1 food brand, and it's making the whole world more delicious. Minimum effort, maximum flavor. Available at all major grocery stores in the freezer aisle. Bibigo Mandu are the largest, juiciest dumplings in the market. Every day is the day to live delicious with Bibigo, the official game day snack of the Lakers.
Been very excited that What's Up Fool is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, so Christian McCaffrey has been one of the best players in football for quite some time now, and he's played a lot of games the last 2 years. You looked it up, Mace. What is it? Like
16
33
games this last year, 16 of 17, 17 the year before.
Yeah, so however, he's usually pretty injury prone, and he is now officially the cover athlete for Madden 25. As you know, there is a Madden curse.
Ooh.
As an injury-prone player, should Christian McCaffrey be on the cover of Madden?
I do not believe in curses such as this. I think if does he get? I'm assuming he gets paid.
I'm
right?
sure he gets paid.
I'm sure
yeah,
he does.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
I'll take the check.
I don't believe in curses, and I bet you if you look back at this one, it doesn't even hold up anymore.
It does.
It actually does.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, we looked at it before. There's a lot of guys who came upon hard times once they appeared on the cover of
Yes,
Madden.
there are some that didn't do, but at the same time, let's say he only plays in 8 games or 10 games this year. Does it has anything to do with
the
cover?
video game did it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, the curse is a curse.
Yeah, I don't believe in curses of any kind. I'm not especially superstitious. Christian McCaffrey is it's probably good for his brand, right? He's on the front of the game. Honestly, I would have no hesitation. Would you? Would you think you were going to get hurt?
No, absolutely
Curses are only real if you believe them.
Right.
If you do believe, like if Christian McCaffrey, in his heart of hearts, really does believe in the Madden curse, then it's probably going to be real. But I just don't believe in curses.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
What's up, fool?
All right, guys. Joey Chestnut, the world-famous Joey Chestnut, 16-time winner of the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, has been banned from the event this year. So he's no longer going to be able to, or at least for this year, he's no longer going to be able to be a part of the contest. And the ban seems to be because his new partnership with a rival vegan food brand. So I think it's the
Impossible Meats, yeah.
Yeah. So is this the world's greatest travesty that Joey Chestnut will not be able to participate in the July 4th?
World's greatest travesty.
The world's greatest travesty.
More than
16 of the
like homelessness.
Among other travesties, this is right
up
up there.
on the Mount Rushmore of
more
athletes.
than
16
like
of the last
the
17.
coronavirus pandemic.
Absolutely.
Travesty.
It's a travesty that he's not being able to participate.
Look,
in this.
I think, Mace, maybe it's just me, but I think the fact that Joey Chestnut is not pretending in an eating contest is not the biggest tragedy in the world today.
No, it is not. But look, Joey Chestnut has he's got an NIL deal with Impossible Meats and Impossible Hot Dogs and all that stuff. And I'm Nathan's.
Do you guys watch it? Do you guys watch it every July 4th?
No,
if I'm around.
It honestly makes me sick.
The hot dog.
I can't believe we've
it's
elevated eating too much into a sport. Bergman, you even corrected me today. You said, it's a sport. It's not a sport. Just eating a lot is not a sport.
It's a part of a league. You know that, right? MLE, Major League Eating. I'm being serious. They announced that at the ban today.
Yeah. And by the way, it is 100% a sport. You have to train for it.
You have to train. I mean, it doesn't make it a sport because you have to train for it.
If you have to train,
if you're going to the
do
chess
something,
championships, you got to play a lot of chess. You're going to eat.
You have to train
eating
for that.
championships.
It
You got to eat a
mental.
lot.
Yes, that's a sport too. It's very mental. That
chess is a sport.
Yeah, 100%.
No, it's not.
It's a board
It's
game.
ridiculous. It's a game.
So is basketball. It's a game.
That's a sport.
But
Yeah,
but it's
there's
still a
a
game.
difference between a sport
It's
and
a game.
Greg, if you don't have to sweat while you play it,
that
is
doesn't-
it still a sport?
How much sweat do you really get on you? Not from the heat playing golf.
A significant amount. I mean, I have to take a shower when I'm done.
Well, yeah, because of the heat.
Well, today wasn't hot, and I played, and I was sweaty. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's a prerequisite for calling it a sport. If you don't have to take a shower when you're done with it,
right?
Well,
probably not a sport.
Well, come on now. You have hot dog juice all over you when afterwards. You have to take a shower after that.
I hate hot dog juice.
Hot dog water.
Hot dog water is gross.
So gross.
It is gross.
You take a shower after
Are
having
those
hot
boiled
dog
hot
water.
dogs or are they grilled hot dogs at
They're
the hot dog eating
boiled.
contest?
They don't
boil.
They don't. That takes a lot of time to grill it.
Ooh, boiling. Yeah, no, I don't consider this a sport. I understand what Joey Chestnut's doing. He's cashing in with this
16
sponsorship
of the
deal.
last 17 eating
Right,
contests.
but
is that not a sport to you?
No, it's not.
He's
16
dominant.
of the
Mount
last
Rushmore athlete for sure.
We hate the Mount Rushmore, but
I
he's
know.
still dominant. He's right in
Wait a
that.
minute. So, Cody, you would put, in all
Jordan?
seriousness, Michael Jordan, Babe
Gretzky.
Ruth,
I said he's a Mount. I didn't say
Wayne
he's on
Gretzky,
mine. I just
and
said
Joey Chestnut.
He could be on someone else's. I didn't say he was on mine.
Oh, he's
Tiger
not on
Woods,
yours.
Joey Chestnut.
Tiger Woods has what? 15 majors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut has 16 majors.
So you're saying
Good
you
point.
put him in the same category?
Stats.
I'm just saying.
I honestly don't think we should even put this on TV. I think it sets a bad example for people. We should not reward people for pigging out and eating too much.
Didn't you do a hot dog eating contest?
No, we're a country that, yeah, I did it. I did do it as a bit.
Was it hard?
It was not as hard as you would think.
Oh.
I think I ate 11 hot dogs.
No, you had like 9.
Radio Michael fan says, I can guarantee that Mason will get hurt playing chess. hence it's a sport.
No.
Good point, Radio Michael fan.
What's up, fool? Not happening.
All right, guys. Speaking of hot dogs, Dan Hurley, after he rejected the
hot dogs, Dan Hurley. Okay.
No, this is a good story.
I know where you're going.
So
yeah.
Dan Hurley, after he rejected the Lakers job, 2 restaurants in Connecticut promised him free wings and hot dogs for life. So 2 restaurants, I believe one was called Dirty Taverns, and then another hot dog company offered him free wings and hot dogs for life. My question to you guys, is there a restaurant that would have swayed you guys to stay if they gave you free food for life?
I think there are a couple.
Okay.
I think if Nobu gave me free food for life,
that's expensive.
that I would,
expensive.
yeah, I would have to think about it. And right after Nobu, if any of the Boas, because they're all over the city now.
Oh, Boa is so good.
If Boa gave me if I had free food for life at Boa and at Nobu, and UConn offered me their head coaching job, and they said, look, Ireland, don't go. You got free food here. Nobu, free food, Boa. I think I might stay.
Yeah, Boa is an awfully good steakhouse. Do they have more than 2? I've been to 2 of them. Are there more? There's one in West Hollywood, and there's one at the beach.
Isn't there one downtown now, too?
Oh, is
I think there's one around here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real question, though. When it comes to Nobu, I've only been there once, I forget. But do they actually have good sushi?
Yeah,
Delicious.
unbelievable.
It is good sushi?
Yeah.
And it's fresh every day.
The craziest thing about it is it's way too expensive.
course.
Way too expensive. But really delicious. Like I had low expectations for that much, but no, it's really delicious. I won't go there all the time. I'm not picking up takeout. I'm not ordering on Uber, but it's delicious.
It's like $35 for sashimi?
Yeah, it's very expensive. If you looked at their menu, you would be appalled. Appalled.
Mace, is there a restaurant for you that could sway you to stay?
Popeyes. I love Popeyes, man.
That's
Popeyes
all it
chicken
takes?
sandwiches. I had Popeyes chicken sandwiches over the weekend. I ate not 1 but 2. Their coleslaw is really good at Popeyes. It's kind of a creamy coleslaw, the way they have it Kentucky Fried Chicken. Really good fries. I had the seafood basket, all like deep fried seafood. Popeyes, sign me up.
What's up, fool?
I'm a man of simple tastes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I got one last one for you guys. Simon Cowell announced that he has plans to create a new boy band with hopes to have a documentary series to capture the search. Now, I know, John, you're a big fan of Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Yep, NSYNC, really, but Backstreet Boys I listen to sometimes.
I feel like this is such a good idea, especially Simon Cowell to do it. I feel like this is such a great idea. Every generation needs a boy band to grow up with. I grew up with One Direction. That's at least that's the boy band of my era. My sister grew up on NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. What do you guys think about this?
I think it'll work.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
Simon has proven time and time again that he knows music and he knows what works and what doesn't work. He's kind of an a-hole, but he's good at it.
Do you guys think boy bands are kind of dead? I feel like there hasn't been.
No. I
You
think
can't
they
name one good one right now, though.
But I think all it takes is one to come back, and you're all set.
Well, isn't the big one right now, isn't BTS a gigantic deal?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's a
and
whole
aren't those
different-
guys,
that's a whole
they're
different
from
genre.
Korea, right?
Yeah.
There's like 14 of them, aren't there? There's so many people
like
in
8.
the BTS band.
It's like 8 or 9. I forgot.
Is it 8 or
But
9?
like
It's a
they
lot.
had that one gigantic hit, Butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
And did they have another one after that?
Yeah, I have a bunch of hits. There's Butter.
They,
Boy
but
with
Butter
Love,
went to number 1. Did they have
Butter,
another number 1 hit?
I'm trying to think. They've Butter. Boy with Love with Halsey was really good.
Listen to Cody. Go ahead. American Bandstand, let her rip.
DNA.
Casey Kasem, go.
Cody, I could see you being in that band. Well, you're Vietnamese. I don't know. Would they look because you're Korea adjacent? Would they let you in the band?
I don't know. I think I got the hair for it at least.
Yeah, there you do. That's true.
BTS hair.
What's up, fool?
That's all I got for you guys.
All right, that's all we got there. Coming up, it's Live Imaging Tuesday. I see Morales lurking. Don't forget, Mandy's tickets are on sale, and there are still some tickets left. Now, this year, the Mandy's is even bigger, even better. We're in a bigger venue. Last year, we had rows of chairs. Not this year. You get to be at a table. There's going to be a dinner served. Everybody gets 2 drinks, some swag stuff, some raffle stuff, and, of course, all the big show that we're going to put on for you. If you want tickets, they're only $49. Go to ESPNLA.com, ESPNLA.com. Get your Mandy's tickets. It's coming up a week from Saturday. Mason, Ireland, 7 ESPN.
In the Southland on a live Imaging Tuesday, presented by Kia of downtown LA. You ready, Mace? You ready? Mace, I'm about to jump up right on you.
This is probably NSYNC's biggest hit.
Definitely not that.
Yeah. This is not good.
No dump truck.
Mace
No
just got
dump
dump truck.
Yeah, I did. It always happens when you're
Poor
over
Corporate Greg, he's not in here for this because he would have gotten nervous. He's always worried. He's like, when you and Cappy do it, don't hit him too hard. He's fragile.
Ireland says
We don't need Mace breaking a hip.
Ireland says Bergman is afraid of you.
He is. He's afraid of you.
What are you guys doing to me today?
No, Bergman is afraid of you.
This is what you're doing to start the fight out.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yes.
you missed crosstalk.
No, yeah, you should have been here when we were ripping you at the beginning of the show.
What happened?
I stood up for Travis because you yelled at Travis for you say, Travis, all you want to do is talk about sports. We're a freaking sports radio station.
Well-
the only person who doesn't talk sports around here is you. You're the sports killer.
Do I need to release my memos from the last week?
Your
saying,
memos from the last week?
Let's talk more sports?
I don't think anyone wants to see your memos released.
Well, yeah, I mean,
can't even imagine.
Because then they're going to do a deeper dive and
You
find
know,
other
you know how
memos.
like when they do court cases, everything can be redacted. There'd be like all
Yeah,
these black
redacted,
lines
exactly
through the other thing.
So no, I was giving Travis a hard time about back in the old morning show days.
Yep.
That he was the only person that like every day, middle of July, hey guys, we got to hit on this. That was all because Emily was talking about the Woody Show, which is a very successful
Woody
morning
Show's
show.
a very funny show.
And
I
my
like that
point
show.
was,
what's that on 96?
98.7.
98.7.
My point is that's a show that could run on any like we could run that show in the morning and it would fit.
Yeah, the way New York used to run, you can run any morning show with a sports station.
And my point was that was what I was trying to build the old Keyshawn morning show into.
I think we should hire Berger, Prescott, and Schwartz.
Oh, there you go.
They could plug that
super
show
old
into
school.
anywhere.
Super old
Yeah,
school.
there you go.
Now, why do you say Bergman's afraid of me? Greg, they said that, of course, when you weren't in the
Because
room.
Ireland.
This is. I would say the crux of every argument Chris and I have ever had is if I was running the station, we would be probably 60% sports, 40% guy talk. If Mason was doing it, it'd probably be more 50-50. Chris, if you're doing it, it would be 10-90.
That's not true. And
It's 100%
I
true.
enjoy doing sports talk this morning with Trav and Slee. I was actually had FOMO listening to you guys yesterday.
Really?
Because I wish I was here. I was at some partner meetings. I would say you're 60-40 sports. I'm reverse.
I would say you're 10-90. What do you
that's not
say,
true.
Mace?
I will say he's 50-50.
No, I wouldn't give you that.
No,
Don't
you're
say that.
50-50.
God,
I'm
you-
50-50.
I mean, you just fold for anybody.
No, I
You
don't.
fold for the hot body
Look,
in the room, man.
He wants you banned from the show.
Well, that's a bit.
He wants to ban you. No, is it a bit, John?
I mean, the old morning show.
No, this is what I argued. I said, and Chris, I wonder if you'll go for this.
Okay.
I said to Bergman, what would happen if Chris just did lit on every show except ours?
Mason, 2 weeks in, would go, he doesn't do it on ours because that's what happened.
Okay, no, but what Greg said was we have to have it because it's sold now.
Well,
It's a
that is
sponsored.
Well, it
bit.
is sponsored.
But that's
So
not
I
really
said,
supporting
Chris,
me, Greg.
No,
what the heck?
No, but
I've been supporting you.
If
for
I
a
could,
The only reason we do it is because it's sold.
right. So if I could make up the revenue, if I could go into the marketplace and make up the revenue that we bring in from your endorsement here, would you leave us alone on Tuesdays?
Probably not, because torturing you is more fun.
That's my point.
Exactly.
But honestly, the old morning show with Keyshawn, which is kind of the format we do all day long, which is a little bit more. I listened back to those shows.
Yeah.
Thinking we talked like 80% sports, 20% fun. Now, the 20% fun we went over the top.
Sure.
Yes. But so why are you ripping Travis then?
I was doing a bit. Like, honestly, that was truly just trying to fill 10 minutes, and they needed a little help there in hour 3.
Did they?
No, not too bad.
They were struggling.
So
They scuffled a little bit.
Slee did a great job the last 2 days.
The partner meeting you've been on for the last 2-3 hours.
2 different meetings, yes.
Yes. Did you close either deal?
We open partnerships here.
Yeah,
Just
we
so we're
opened them.
clear.
Okay.
It was with an ongoing partner that we've extended.
Still going.
Still going.
So that's
And
that's
then
a win.
Then this other meeting was a kickoff partner for a major partner coming on. So we do a kickoff meeting for a major
Do we
partner.
already have them opened, as you
No,
would say?
no,
Okay,
this is
we'd
brand
still
new.
work to do.
No,
nice.
it's opened. It's ready to go.
Oh, okay.
nice.
It's primed. It's healthy. It's
Awesome.
full.
Now, is the Mandy's completely produced? Is it all together? Have you done
No,
everything, you and Jorge?
we are painfully behind,
Really?
which I like.
Huh.
And I'm going to talk about Mandy's tickets in a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
what-
out there.
There's just a
Available.
little
Some are available.
There's a little scuttlebutt going on.
Yeah.
I'll
Why?
address
What is it?
No,
Go-
let's-
just do it
no,
now.
get to sports, you guys. I don't want to take up too much
I'm
of the
not-
segment.
Well, if you're here,
all
we
I'm
can't
doing
talk
is
sports.
Baiting
Yeah, you
the two of you.
The
It's all going to be okay. We're going to get JJ and Bronny and
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that's not the natural fallback. They clearly had
Well, I
gone
think
down
it
the
might-
road
it
to
might
some.
be.
They
It
had
is.
clearly gone down the road to some degree with JJ Redick. Why not just close that deal?
Because JJ's going to say,
Or
I
open
want
the
No,
deal.
in that
I
case,
guess.
So we got to get in the habit of saying that, yeah.
Because JJ's going to ask for what they gave that offer,
Oh, no,
right?
he's not getting that. I don't.
Well,
think
he might not be getting
realistically
that,
could-
but if you were JJ, wouldn't you ask for that?
Yeah, he's
Mace, look at that
he's-
TV. What is a thoracic contusion?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked.
This is apparently what Luca has,
Okay,
and he's
so-
getting pain-killing shots.
So imagine your.
if it's an ailment, Mason's probably had it.
No, it's
Have
not.
you had this particular one?
I've not had this. This is apparently the muscle that leads down to the heel, and there's some sort of joint that's out of place there. That's if Dr. Clapper was here, he'd explain it much better. But
Clapper vision, no
but
doubt.
Joe Mazzulla came out today and said the injury is serious.
Wait, Joe Mazzulla said it about Luca, a guy
no,
on the other
I'm
team?
sorry. The
You're talking
the
about
Mavericks.
Porzingis.
Porzingis, yeah, Porzingis.
Sports Talk's going great, guys.
Wait a minute. Were we not talking about Porzingis?
No, we're talking about Luca.
Oh, I'm talking about Porzingis.
Luka Doncic received pain-killing injection for thoracic contusion before
Well,
game
you're
2.
pointing over my shoulder. I can't see. I know he took the needle before game 2.
What is a thoracic contusion? That's my question.
He got hit in the abdomen. Your thoracic.
It's in your stomach?
This is your thorax, right?
Okay.
So he just took a
And
shot.
those muscles do get very tight. I get worked on every other week, only on the diaphragm because it gets
Do
so
you?
tight because of the stress from you people.
I can only imagine. Now, Porzingis has got a different injury. Porzingis has an injury that Mazzulla says is serious, and he's not listed as out. He's listed as questionable.
I think Boston still wins the game even without Porzingis. What do you think?
I think Dallas is going to win tomorrow night. I think Kyrie's going to go off, and I think Dallas is going to win tomorrow night and make
As
some
long as it
kind of.
doesn't
I hope
go-
you're right,
As long
'cause
as
I
it
think
doesn't
they
go
have a series
7.
out of it.
We can't have it go 7.
Oh, that's right.
I need the Sedano Cuban Heat on stage.
We lose. Does that mean would game
I
7?
think there's almost a 0% chance this goes 7.
Me too.
Good.
Yeah,
I would say the
chance.
chances of it going 7 are less than 5%.
There you go.
Now, you know,
That's
he's
scientific.
on the road today. Sedano.
Oh, Sedano
He was
is?
on the road yesterday.
For the
We talked
show,
to him
yeah.
yesterday.
But he has been very clear because it's a Tuesday. He said to Lindsay to let Cappy and I know because Tuesdays get a little out of control when you put Cappy and I in the same room.
Oh, I can only
So
imagine.
usually we
So
are.
is Sedano taking today off?
No. No. He made it clear.
He might have a dinner with like PJ Carlissimo or
Yeah,
something.
the PJ dinner.
And JJ.
Yeah.
He's
and,
like,
and
Or-
JJ's at that dinner
Or
too.
since
Yeah.
according to Chris, he saved the station. Maybe all of our owners are flying to Dallas to wine and dine
Listen,
Sedano as a thank
if we
you.
release my memos, they'll be in there.
Oh yeah, you should release this.
I'd be afraid of the photos that might go along with those memos, if you know what I mean.
Well, you've seen it before. I
Yeah.
remember. There to make sure we go off of his, since we can't see his visual cues, to make sure we go off of his verbal cues when we're out of control.
What does that mean?
To get back, he's the one that'll steer us back to land.
You can't steer from there. The steering has got to happen here. It's difficult to steer from on the road.
Yeah, you got to have your hands on the wheel.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
We're on the wheel today, sucker.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's
that
a-
thing's coming off the tracks.
I know there's a lot of spin to be done today.
Like
Well, you know.
spinning.
Yeah.
Like
Well, did you guys play the Sham stuff from earlier?
No, what is it?
the Sean
Let's
stuff.
hear
We
it.
played the. Do we have the Sean stuff from
Look
earlier?
at Chris setting up sports.
There you go.
Yeah, we have
there
some
it
of the
is.
Sham stuff. Cody had put that in from the Pat McAfee show.
Okay.
What did he
so
say?
Let's
play
hear it.
play something, Cody. What
So
do you
listen, if the Lakers want to go hire James, they've had a month to hire James Borrego. They've had a week this week after losing out on Dan Hurley, I guess. They've had this time to go get James Borrego.
What do you? I guess, Sean.
So-
Come
so
on,
I think-
saying, Sean.
I think
So, I mean, is the point that he doesn't think James Borrego's the guy?
I think the point is there's a lot of fluff going on about, the Lakers didn't really want to go after Dan Hurley, or Dan Hurley didn't really want the job. Here's my thing. They both did what they do to show interest, meaning the Lakers made the offer. They sent a jet there. It's okay that he didn't want the job. On Dan Hurley's point, I don't think you'd get on a plane. I know you told the story yesterday about Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. The point is they made the offer. He came out here. Let's stop playing it didn't really matter. It never really happened. It's just fluff. No, it's not fluff.
Well, it wasn't fluff.
No,
I mean, they
that's
put together a gigantic offer.
Exactly.
For him.
And last Thursday, you could hear the excitement even in my voice. Like, this is amazing. They're making an offer that signals a post-LeBron narrative, a post-LeBron plan, right? We were all excited about it.
Right. I was not. I was not. I thought
you weren't here.
I think they dodged a bullet.
You weren't here, and the show was fantastic.
But Bergman got my text messages as we were going along. I thought the Dan Hurley thing was misguided from the jump.
Why? Right, but you also want to have a coach just for the last 2 to 3 years of
correct.
LeBron and another coach.
By the way, that's probably going to happen.
That's the way it's going to go.
That's probably going to happen.
You're going to get a coach for LeBron in the last couple of years, and then there's going to be another coach as a sort of a development coach.
But that plan is not moving you forward as you go.
Well, it's moving you forwards towards the next couple of years when the Lakers can potentially compete for a championship if they put the right players around LeBron and AD.
Everything, John, and everything we know about Jeannie Buss is that she wants to stop paying multiple coaches, stop having coach after coach after coach every 2 year coach fired. They want to stop doing that. So why would they?
They're not going to stop. They are not going to stop. This is the way it is if you're the Lakers head coach, you are hired to be fired. You are only going to last a couple of years. That is what it takes to be a Lakers head coach.
Why are they going to get anybody?
As long as you don't lose. I mean, like Phil Jackson never got fired because he won all the time.
If you take out Phil Jackson and Pat Riley, everybody else has been a short.
Why did Pat Riley leave?
Pat Riley voluntarily left because he thought they had got tired of him yelling at him.
But
so voluntarily left is like fired.
But is that not fair that they've had Pat Riley and Phil Jackson and then a whole bunch of other guys over the years?
Right, but every one of those other guys had a losing season and then got fired. Like even Frank Vogel, who won the title, had a losing season following that, and then he got fired. You can't lose.
Except for Darvin.
Darvin
had a winning season, bad in the playoffs, but winning season.
I think Darvin lost the players was the problem.
Yeah. In the end, I think it's a college coach jumping the NBA. I'm not a fan of.
But you're
never
a fan
been
of JJ.
a fan of. I'm a fan of JJ because he's got NBA experience.
That's fine. No, I was just asking.
Yeah.
Like NBA experience of what
as
kind?
A player, he knows he's been there. He knows what it's like on an NBA bench. He knows what LeBron James is like because they've done hours of podcasting together.
He had that cocktail with Doc Rivers that they showed in episode 1 of
that's
Clip.
right, sure.
You know?
Right.
Had his baked potato.
And Donald Sterling didn't want to sign him because he was white.
It's true. Yeah.
You didn't tell me he was white.
Amazing.
Now, one question, John. When Phil Jackson left the first time from the Lakers, wasn't it Dr. Buzz kind of saying, we've reached the end or we need a break? So it wasn't like he was fired. But
my take on that was Phil told Shaq and Kobe, look, we've been to the finals 4 times in 5 years. We're not changing the core of what we do. Everything runs through Shaq. Kobe said, okay, I'm going to the Clippers.
Right.
And Kobe was going to leave, and Dr. Buss came in and said, no, we're not losing Kobe over this. So he traded Shaq, let Phil go, lined up behind Kobe, brought in Rudy Tomjanovich for a few months, and then brought Phil back.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think in the end, I really believe they dodged a bullet.
Maybe they did.
I was not a fan of the Dan Hurley hiring as a concept. I love the fact that they went big. I mean, there was a vision thing going on there. I think they're lucky that he didn't take the job. I think they're much better set with somebody with NBA experience, not necessarily coaching experience, but NBA experience, the way J.J. Redick's got. And I also think J.J. Redick is interesting because he'll be both the coach and a contemporary of LeBron, which I think is an interesting dynamic.
I mean, they never talk about the job when they do the podcast.
No, but they talk about basketball philosophy.
Just basketball, yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't think they've talked about the job off the air of the podcast, I don't know
Who's
what
buying
to tell
that?
you.
Who's buying that?
So something that Sliwa brought up on Travis and Sliwa today that I thought was interesting. He said that the 2 main coaching candidates are J.J. Redick, LeBron's guy, and James Borrego, AD's guy. If they sign one or the other, are they showing a clear-cut, this is who we're moving with?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think that either guy would be okay with the other one's guy. In other words, like I don't think AD would go crazy if they hired J.J. Redick, and I don't think LeBron would go crazy if they hired James Borrego. So
he has no say.
I don't know how much of an issue it really is. Like you saying, does that indicate if they're lining up behind a guy? I think they're just going to hire the guy they want and go from there. I don't think Borrego or Redick turns it down. Do you?
No, I don't think either. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if J.J. Redick actually wants this job
there's
anymore.
some speculation that maybe J.J.'s not in on this anymore.
Right. Well, actually, Jovan Buha, you can probably get to it after this, but Jovan Buha did say that there is no plan B in place for the Lakers right now.
We'll do that coming up next. It's an interesting subject. And it's live imaging Tuesday. Mandy's tickets. Don't forget, Mandy's voting is up right now. You can go to ESPNLA.com and vote for Mason and Ireland for Show of the Year.
Reports are Slee's racking up those Host of the Year votes.
Oh, good for him. I want that kid to win again. 2 in a row for Slee. Let me tell you about Jacob Amrani, who I think is going to be here today. Is Jacob going to be here? Yeah. It's Game of Games. If you get into an accident with, let's say, a commercial van or a truck or an 18-wheeler, you don't try to deal with the insurance company on your own. Trust me, the last thing you want to do is accept the very first offer they call you with. The commercial drivers have got special licenses to operate those vehicles, and they also have got to log their daily activity with their employer. So if you're injured in an accident caused by an 18-wheeler or a commercial vehicle, you got to call Jacob. He and his team know what to look for, whether the driver had driven too long without a brake or the load he was carrying was unbalanced. So many ways for Jacob's team to hold the commercial vehicle company responsible. And by doing so, they're able to get you the medical care and the settlement that you deserve, not the one the insurance company wanted to offer you 12 hours after the accident happened. When you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He is the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob Amrani. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. Make sure you're following Jacob on Instagram. Go to @call.jacob. And when you call Jacob, make sure you tell him Mason and Shadano from ESPN LA 710 sent you. Mason and Ireland 710 ESPN.
but darling, oh yeah, you could feel it, Mace.
These guys are from UCLA.
You and I have been in love too long, Mace.
You know who this
Really?
is, Mace?
This is.
You know. You used to spin their.
Yeah, you definitely
their
played
records.
this at 9017Q.
Started in Long Beach, this band, I think.
I definitely never played it.
Yeah, you did.
And it's definitely pre-me.
No, it wasn't. This was like
pre my
maybe,
DJ days.
Maybe. Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
You were
yeah,
still
no,
playing
never.
this as a recurrent, though. You were playing this
Too
as a recurrent.
soft for Toledo, Ohio. Too
Was
soft.
that another one of your crowds?
No, that was Mace. That was Mace earlier.
That was me?
Yeah, Mace.
Yeah. That's Ambrosia. We last night, Morales, I was over at Ike's Love and Sandwiches.
I saw.
Yeah. We developed the brand new Venice Mace sandwich. It is absolutely delicious.
Now, does it come?
I think your sandwich is too spicy for me.
It is a spicy sandwich.
Yeah,
It's
he's
meant
got
to be
spicy meat in there.
Yeah.
But does it come in the full, like a full foot long, or just half? It's
foot long.
Oh, it's a foot long.
Foot long with
Well, you can
Ike's
order
special
either, I
bread.
think.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, with Ike's special bread and
Bam!
You
All
got
right, so
some-
what is this ticket controversy with the Mandys?
So not controversy, but here's the thing. As I've talked about before, Mandy's 2, there were a few stumbles along the way.
Yeah.
It was very difficult
Kamenetsky's took too long.
No, not that. Well, that too. It was Tommy that was upset about that. He was the one screaming
Tommy's
at me
right.
backstage. You thought they took too long?
This year I'm going to buy Tommy one of those big hooks like they had on the Gong Show.
I actually-
and accuse him to and insist on him using it.
I'm the one
when
person-
Andy talks for 21 minutes.
I am the Kamenetsky defender. I actually thought they were really funny last year.
Yeah, for the first 10 minutes they were funny. For the next 11,
You guys are all exact. Go back and look at the tape.
No,
They
Chris
were not
did.
up there
It's
for
21
10
minutes.
No, they did not do 21
Yeah,
minutes.
it was like 21-17 or something.
Yeah, they did
Well,
21
that is
minutes.
too. If they did 21 minutes, that's way too long.
Yeah.
It's not that long a show.
And here's also what I was upset about. They wanted to do the show.
Yeah.
Can you guys prep to where you're not reading off your phone? Like Brian was reading off his phone. That I felt I was insulted personally.
You were insulted.
that he didn't come with a prepared performance.
Well, he expected a teleprompter.
Well, we don't have those.
Yeah, we don't have those.
So anyway, I know it was tough to get a drink.
Yep.
There weren't a lot of easy food options because everything was moving slow. So this year we vowed to make it better. Also, we heard a lot of fans wanted to sit at tables like Mandy's one. So we made sure that we had a bigger space to fit in more tables. So everybody who bought a ticket is sitting at a table, no seats.
Nice.
We also included dinner, 2 cocktails. There's tons of giveaways. You, on that night, are going to have your ticket is your raffle ticket to be able to win opening night tickets at SoFi, that's opening day tickets at SoFi, opening night tickets at Crypto.
Wow.
Plus a lot of other great sports stuff and other stuff to win.
Opening day tickets at SoFi is for what, a Ram game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy then.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, why would you call it?
As you can't say.
Because there's a licensing. People pay for the marks.
Okay.
Some people don't pay for the marks.
But don't the Rams open at night this year?
I do not know the answer to
How
that
about this?
question.
Opening football tickets.
Opening football tickets
at
at
SoFi.
It may be in Detroit or it may be here, but they open the season against the Lions.
Whenever they open here, you got to get tickets.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Opening tickets at SoFi, not for the Chargers.
Yeah, not for the Chargers.
Okay, so that's one
We
way
can
of
say
putting
that.
it.
Not for the Chargers.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we've sold.
You know the Chargers open against.
John, are you
do
just
they
trying to
play at
derail
night?
this bit?
Yeah.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chargers Raiders to start
It's
the year?
opening week.
Oh, we might need to get tickets for that then.
Brian
Okay.
Cohen might have to shave his head like week 1.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry, Chris. John keeps interrupting
It's
you. Go
okay.
ahead and finish your thought.
Anyway,
Such
I think it's
as
like
it is.
80% sold out. And yes, in years past, we've sold out in 24 hours. I get it. It's a bigger space. And here's the thing. Today's day and age, I know $49 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we have heard from people, hey, sucka, would you sell for $25 without the dinner and cocktails? Now, to me, if you're going to come with a bottle of water and just enjoy the show, I'm working hard with our technical team.
Okay.
So then in a few days, we will have a $25 ticket option. If you just want to come, you
Really?
don't want to drink, and you don't want to eat. And that's okay. You'll still be a raffle ticket holder. You'll still have all the fun of the show, and that's fine.
Okay, so that's coming
Hopefully in a few days.
in a few days.
But still, if you want a dinner, and it's fresh, I actually
do
checked.
I get to what's on the menu at dinner?
All I know is it's going to be cooked on an open flame, fresh in the back. I checked it. They're going to have it set up outside so we can watch.
Chicken, fish,
as the meat
steak,
hits the grill.
pasta.
I went and measured the flame.
Oh, wow.
And the BTUs coming out of the propane.
Oh, the old BTUs.
I've measured those BTUs.
Yeah.
So ESPNLA.com. If you want all the fun, all the accoutrement, $49. If you want to wait until we sell them for $25, that's fine. It's going to be an amazing night.
Yeah. All right, so I wanted to throw this out there. Bergman mentioned it. This is interesting. It's from Jovan Buha, from The Athletic. And he says this: in talking to different people today, there has not been a clear plan B for the Lakers from this situation. I thought that this was likely going to just be a 5-day interlude and the Lakers would go back to J.J. Redick and try to circle back and mend fences, or just go back and make him the front runner or the favorite or whatever term you want to use again, and that would be the likely outcome. But in having conversations with people in and outside the organization today, it has been a mixed bag in terms of what is the plan B. So it doesn't sound like there was a plan B. They've got to develop a plan B.
And it doesn't sound like it, we've all assumed that J.J. Redick is sliding into the front runners.
Right.
Doesn't sound like that's the case necessarily.
I mean, Woj, when he actually put out the report on Dan Hurley, he said that J.J. Redick was every other coach that was being hired was just due diligence. He basically called J.J. Redick a due diligence interview.
Right. They did not do a full interview with J.J. Redick. They had an introductory conversation kind of thing, but
phone.
They didn't do a full interview. So now that process has got to begin. I mean, if it's not J.J. Redick, I'm trying to think. I mean, the only names, J.J. Redick, James Borrego,
Sam
Cassell, Kenny Atkinson.
Jay Wright. Randomly.
I've heard Jay Wright randomly.
Mark Stein put that out there.
I mean, there's not, if it's not
Maybe
JJ.
it's somebody we've never heard the name yet.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like, at least as of this moment, they've got a handle on who that's going to be. Plan A, they went big on, and Plan B, they're not sure of yet. So
Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman this morning on
Unsportsmanlike?
Yeah, Unsportsmanlike, said go after Don Staley.
Yeah. I don't think that's
what
an
they'll
actual.
do.
You would have to have, you could do it, but you would have to have LeBron and AD 100% behind it.
Oh, yeah.
If you got those guys 100% behind it, you could pull it off, but they've got to be completely committed. If LeBron's saying, I don't care who they hire and I'm not interested in talking to them beforehand, then you can't hire Don Staley.
Oh, yeah, no question.
You've got to have LeBron on board.
Yeah. I mean, Plan B is, hey, LeBron, who do you want to play for? That's my Plan B. Hey, LeBron, who do you want?
That's been working out great.
Look, this is the deal that we've signed up for in having LeBron James here, is that you've got to cater to LeBron James. I mean, if it's not JJ, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I still think they're going to take Bronny at number 55. I've not heard anybody really shoot that down in any way. I feel like Bronny's going to be on the roster in some way,
There's
shape,
one
or
scenario under which maybe you don't.
Okay.
And that is if LeBron opts out and gives any indication that he's not re-signing. Then you're under no pressure to draft Bronny.
Although, don't the two things happen? LeBron's got till June the 30th, right?
Which is after the draft.
But they'll know whether or not they've taken Bronny by the time LeBron has to make his decision.
So maybe LeBron makes his decision before the draft to make it easier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
We'll see. He likes to do things that make it easier on us. Happens all the time.
Boy, you are so south on LeBron. You and Laura.
It's not him. It's not him. It's what is going on with this franchise. He has complete control of the franchise.
He has more control now, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
by
after
not
this,
getting Dan
after
Hurley,
the Dan Hurley thing,
100%.
sure, he does. He absolutely does.
They took their shot, and it failed.
And I give them credit for taking the shot.
Me
I thought
too.
it was a great thing.
I thought it was good to take a shot. Somebody had a big vision, and somebody went for it. And for everybody that says, oh, the franchise is taking a drubbing or the Lakers look bad in this, no, the Lakers, they swung for the fences. They didn't get the guy. I think it's a blessing that they didn't get him. I was not a big fan of the hiring, but they had a vision. Somebody there had a vision and took a shot at something. Now, Plan B is a waiting game.
Did you see that story I put in my email about Kurt Miller, the coach of the Sparks?
Yes.
Did you know that?
I had no idea. No.
All right, we'll explain what that is coming up.
Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
You know what's a beautiful vision? When you get into one of the biggest hotel rooms in downtown L.A., and you walk in knowing that you're going to get entertainment, and you see a giant hand in your room. And you go, I could sit on that hand. I could put my keys on that hand, maybe my sunglasses, maybe my Apple Watch. But there's a giant hand, and that hand, stop making that face. That hand is welcoming you to the destination in downtown L.A. for entertainment, brother. Entertainment, homeboy, homegirl. I'm talking about the East Central Hotel, downtown L.A., right across the street on Fig. I know that tonight, both Cappy and I will be in the building. And I know tonight, Cappy and I will have one door separating our rooms. And will that door open up middle of the night?
You have adjoining rooms?
Well, yeah. Will that door
so weird.
Will that door open up about 3:15 for a show prep meeting? Quote unquote a show prep meeting. Or will it stay closed to the imagination? Guess you'll have to find out by listening tomorrow.
Keep it closed.
But tonight is a night at the East Central Hotel. Maybe after we get off the air at 7 o'clock, we'll go to the amazing Nixo Lounge overlooking Figueroa. All you have to do, whether you're here for a game at Crypto, an event at the convention center, maybe you're seeing a concert here at LA Live, you go to the East Central Hotel because you want the biggest hotel room in downtown LA. Nice and spacious. The gym is incredible. The Nixo Lounge. And you say to them, hey, I want to stay in the Cappy penthouse, which means that you're going to get a portrait of Cappy in your room. Who doesn't want that? 213-748-1291. 213-748-1291. East Central Hotel, downtown LA. Book your next stay at eastcentralhotel.com. Entertainment's official address. Beach Boys documentary, or is it a documentary or a movie?
I can't tell. It sounded documentary-like.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Mace, you are the biggest part of me, as somebody once said.
Thank you.
Is this Ambrosia again?
We're
back-to-back Ambrosia on a
track
Tuesday.
Ambrosia today.
It's a live imaging Tuesday.
All Ambrosia.
Presented by Kia of downtown Los Angeles. Go in there. See Gary, the general manager. I think he's going to be at the Mandy's. And you know what I want people to do at the Mandy's? Go up to him and say, "Give me my Kia, sucker." Man.
See, I said that in Idaho and got a Kia. It worked.
It worked.
Quality cars.
Yeah. Nice.
Quality cars.
All right, so Mace, I saw this story about Kurt Miller, the coach of the Sparks.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this.
I didn't know either. He says Kurt Miller is openly gay. He's been a basketball coach for 25 years.
Yep.
Last night, the Sparks celebrated Pride Night.
Yeah.
And Kurt says that he is literally the only openly gay coach in all of professional or college basketball, men or women. Listen to what he said last night before the game.
For 22 years, as a longtime Division I head coach and then pro coach, I remain the only out gay male head coach at D1 or pro basketball, men's or women's, college men's or women's, G League, all included. And so I really take my role seriously. I become more popular this month. But, you know, it's in all seriousness, it's like, you know, it's really important to me to continue to provide visibility and representation to the coaches behind me. I didn't have a role model. I didn't have someone that I could call and reach out to navigate as a gay male in sports. And I've watched so many gay young men in basketball, both men's and women's, including the NBA and G League, drop out of chasing their dreams because there's not a lot of visibility or representation beside myself. And so I'm going to try to keep carrying that banner until the decision makers open the door more and advancement is possible for young gay men that are in the sport of basketball.
All right, so first of all, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I had
Second
no idea.
of all, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I knew he was gay because when we had Cameron Brink on, she mentioned it.
Oh, did she? Okay.
And she said that they'll kind of kid him about it and have fun with him about it, and he gives it right back to him. But here's the thing, and you're uniquely qualified to talk about this. He can't be the only gay coach. There are other gay coaches out there. What's stopping those people from coming out? It's obviously a personal decision, but at the same time, do they feel like if they come out, it will stagnate their growth? Because I don't necessarily think it would. I mean, this guy's had a pretty good run.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we live in an era where being LGBTQ, any one part of the community, it's fair to expect that you can advance in whatever your chosen profession is. But in this particular one, a gay man coaching a men's basketball team, I think it'll take some time to get there. And there's no reason
You just
for
think
it.
if that person comes out, he puts himself on the he puts a spotlight, he puts a target on him.
Right.
Yeah.
It does.
Makes it harder to succeed.
It makes it harder. And, you know, in L.A., like I did Pride Night at LAFC last week. I know Dodgers have Pride Night, I think the 14th, which is Friday. They're not having Pride Night in a lot of places.
Right.
There are a lot of towns that doesn't have a Pride Night at the local team. In fact, the Dodgers, I think, are the only team that they're actually wearing the Pride hats.
Yeah, I know it was a big
Pride
deal
Night.
for some sports, particularly in hockey, about a lot of players not wanting to wear the Pride jerseys. Although, I guess it's kind of sad to me that if other coaches came out, like Kurt Miller, that they would feel limited or targeted in some way, but maybe that's reality.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what I learned from you and from when you came out is you can't make someone else come out. They have to do it on their own time.
Yeah, you've got to come out
It's
yourself.
a highly personal decision which is why I think it's always mean to out somebody.
Yeah, no, outing is completely unacceptable. No, I mean, I think the average person has to come out, the average gay guys got to come out many, many times. Like, how many times did I come out here? Came out to Greg, came out to you, came out to the station, came out to the public.
But I mean,
all
when
that
you
stuff.
came out to the public was the big one.
Was the big one. But every one, when I came out to my parents, was hard.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's that process. So good for this guy being out there and for representing, and hopefully he's a trailblazer.
Sounds like he is.
Yeah.
Sounds like he is. Okay, so Game of Games is coming up. Jacob Amrani's here. He normally is on Tuesdays, so Jacob will play with us. And, Greg, you finally got on the board yesterday, right?
Did get on the board, so you have
my
3.
lead is my lead is no longer like an insurmountable lead. Like, does anyone have 2?
No. So
Okay,
you
no.
have 3. Emily has 1. Cody has 1. I have 1.
And I have
0.
And Jacob is here to get second place.
Oh, Jacob's here to finish second.
Yeah.
Excellent. We will do that. Coming up next, Game of Games, Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, did you know it can take up to 11 weeks? 11 weeks on average to hire for an open job that's almost 2.5 months. Why wait? Use ZipRecruiter. Right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter was invented by a guy named Ian Siegel, and he puts it simply this way. They don't leave anything to chance. They use powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. Think about that. You post right now, by the end of today, it's already 3:40. You could have 1 or 2 quality candidates for that open position. So, speed up your hiring process with ZipRecruiter. Go to that exclusive web address and try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, it is Game of Games time. The great Jacob Amrani is here in Ireland. Whose game is it today?
It is your game.
Oh, shoot. All right, I got something worked up.
All right, good. What do you got?
This is a simple game of fact or fiction. We've done this before. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You ready for your traditional second-place finish?
Absolutely.
And by the way, let me point out, this is Cody Lou's final game of games on Mason and Ireland before he moves to Bristol and takes over for Jimmy Pitaro as the head of ESPN.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm coming for the win.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I'm joining Dan Hurley's staff.
Oh, and joining Dan Hurley's
exactly.
staff. Okay, good. All right, so everything I say is either a fact or I totally made it up. Here is number one. Shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. Shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. Jacob, is that fact or is that fiction?
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Ireland.
I'm with Jacob. Fact.
Fact. Bergman.
Fact.
Fact. Cody.
Fact.
100% a misconception. No, it is not true.
Wow.
Shaving does not change the thickness, color, or rate of hair growth. The blunt tips of the shaved hair might feel coarser as it grows out, which is why it seems thicker. All right, so nobody's on the board. Number two. During his wildest party days in the 80s, D. Snider was arrested in Washington, D.C. for a DUI while riding his bicycle. Is that fact or is that fiction, Ireland?
I'm going to say that's fiction.
You're going to say fiction, all right? Bergman.
A lot of stuff in there, but a BUI is real, so I'm going to go with fact.
Fact. Cody.
I'll go with fiction.
Fiction. Jacob.
Did you say BUI?
Yeah. Biking under the influence.
Yeah, I called it a DUI, but he's driving the bike. But yeah, I get it. BUI.
I think that's false.
It is completely made up. Yeah, out of whole cloth.
So
Biking under the influence is not a thing?
Greg didn't get it, and everybody else is on the board.
Everybody else is on the board. Number three. President Abraham Lincoln had a dog named Fido and a cat named Tabby. Dog named Fido, cat named Tabby. President Abraham Lincoln. Bergman, fact or fiction?
We are due for a fact.
He says fact. Cody.
I'll go with fiction.
Fiction. Jacob.
I'll go with fact.
Fact. Ireland.
I'm with Cody. Fiction.
It is 100% real. Yeah, I had a dog named Fido and a cat named Tabby.
I don't want to put any pressure on Jacob, but he's got the lead.
Stop.
Can we stop the game? Can we just stop?
Let's breathe.
Jacob has 2. Everyone else has 1.
There's a lot to talk about, guys. Let's go.
All right, number 4. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still completely edible. 3,000 years old, honey, still completely edible. Cody, is that fact or is that fiction?
I should know this one. This one's true.
You know this. Yeah.
He's learned.
I believe that. Yeah. Jacob. Real or made up?
I will go with fact.
Fact. Ireland.
Fact.
Fact. Bergman.
I don't think honey goes bad. I'm going fact.
I think you all got it. Yeah. Honey never goes bad.
I knew this one. I told you guys I knew it.
Our archaeologist right there.
Yeah.
Jacob still has the lead, 3-2 over everybody.
Okay, number 5. The average person swallows 8 spiders per year in their sleep. The average person swallows 8 spiders per year in their sleep. Jacob, is that fact or is that fiction?
I would like to hope it's fiction.
You're going to say fiction. Ireland.
It's fact.
It's fact. Bergman.
I think it might actually be more, but it's fact.
Fact. Cody.
I'll go with fact, I guess.
The correct answer, only Jacob gets it.
Oh!
Spiders avoid humans. Highly unlikely that one would crawl into your mouth while you're sleeping.
So Jacob has a 2-shot lead.
2-shot lead.
With how many questions left?
1.
4.
All right, Jacob. You have a long history of silver medals. Don't clipper this lead.
Okay, yeah, don't clipper it.
Are you trying to psych me out here, John?
Number 6.
Never.
Ingesting sugar has proven to increase hyperactivity in 60% of children. Ingesting sugar has proven to increase hyperactivity in 60% of children. We start with Ireland here.
Well, I think So if I think it's more than 60%, I should say false, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
All right, false.
False. Okay. Bergman.
I think it's a misconception. It's fiction.
Fiction. Cody.
Fiction.
Fiction. Jacob. Ooh,
I
Jacob.
will go with false as well.
All four of us.
It is false. Yeah, no, there's no correlation. Scientific studies have shown no correlation between hyperactivity and eating too much sugar. So that is a
All right, how many are left?
Only 3 left.
All right, Jacob has to go first. He has a 2-shot lead with 3 to go.
Okay.
You're like coming down towards the Masters, and you've got this big lead. Let's see if you can hold it.
Number 7. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way. More trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way. Is that fact or is that fiction, Jacob?
I would say fact.
It says fact. Ireland. Well, I guess everybody's in catch-up mode, right?
Yeah, I'm going fiction.
Going fiction. Bergman?
I am going fiction as
Fiction. And Cody?
Fiction.
Correct answer. It is fiction, yeah.
Oh, we're back in it.
More stars.
We're back in it.
Here we go, Jacob.
All right.
You don't have to go against
2
you.
left.
2 left.
Jacob 5. Everyone else 4.
There's a species of jellyfish that never dies. That never dies. Is that fact or is that fiction, Jacob?
It's me again?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you have the lead.
You're leading, so you go first.
All right, I'm going to go with fact.
Going fact. Ireland?
I think it is a fact. There's one more left after this.
Yes.
You don't have to go against him.
Right. I'll go fact.
Going fact. Bergman?
I'm going to take my shot here. I'm going to go fiction.
Fiction. And Cody?
I'm going to go fact here.
The correct answer is... Yeah, it's a fact.
I'm out.
They
Dang it.
get old, then
Jacob,
they
here we
revert
go.
to their juvenile form, and then become adult again, and they live indefinitely.
Jacob, I hate to tell you this, but if you get this right, you win. All right?
What?
That's
What's a
it.
win?
You
And
win.
I couldn't think of a
Go
more
for a-
appropriate question.
This better not be a legal question.
Nope. Here it is. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. Is that fact or is that fiction, Jacob?
What's the what?
A
Wombats. A
wombat.
wombat.
You know, bat.
When it goes to the
when
bathroom.
they poop, is their poop cubed?
I will say fact.
Okay.
I actually agree with Jacob, but Cody, we have to go fiction just to stay in the game. But I think Jacob just won the game. Cody and I will both go fiction.
I know wombat, so that it is fiction.
No, it's a fact. And Jacob!
Yeah, you did it.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
All right, wait a minute. What is the question?
Let's go.
Because Cody has pet everything. Is wombat poop
cube-shaped?
It is. It came up like with 20 different ones.
Yeah. There you have it. Jacob and Ronnie. How about that?
This doesn't feel very normal for me, but feels good.
Yes, wombats are the only animals known to produce cube-shaped poop.
There you go.
Jacob, congratulations.
Way to go, man.
Hey, since we're talking about animals, I sent these guys a story today that I wanted to get your opinion on. So, Mace, when you were growing up in Ohio, did they have something similar to Lion Country Safari?
Yeah, we called it Wild Country Safari.
All right,
yeah.
so in California, Lion Country Safari was you drive your car onto an animal reserve, and the animals are roaming around out there, and they might walk right up to your car and, stick their head in and blah, blah. So a young couple drove their convertible onto an animal reserve, and their 2-year-old was sitting in the back seat, and a giraffe lifted the 2-year-old out. So the giraffe, bit the shirt of the 2-year-old.
Yeah, the video's crazy.
Lifted her out, and her dad stood up in the car and yanked her back in. So here's my question. We live in a very litigious society.
Mm-hmm.
If that family, the dad, wanted to sue for child endangerment, would he have a case?
First of all, I saw the video.
Yeah.
And thank God the kid,
the girl's fine. The 2-year-old's fine.
And it's good to talk about it that way. But no, I would say no. I mean, as a parent, you have certain duties, right? You don't put your kid in an animal park in
a convertible.
In a convertible without a seatbelt
with really
on,
tall animals around.
You would have to get a very understanding jury.
And without an adult, I'd have my kid in my arm.
or
while
at
I go
least
through that.
buckled into a car seat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy video. It's crazy video. So,
all right, the other question is, Jacob, and this is a very important one. Who's the next coach of the Lakers?
Yeah, we need to know.
So I'll tell you this. I don't know who the next coach is, but I'm not as disappointed as everybody else.
Mason's not disappointed at all.
No,
He thinks they dodged a bullet.
I think they dodged a bullet.
Yeah, because I mean, I think ultimately at the end of the day, you got a guy coming in from college, right? I mean, some college coaches do well, and many don't.
Most don't.
And the day when I heard he came down here, met with the Lakers, and said, I got to go home and I got to talk about it with my family, I knew this was not happening.
Yeah, because if you were that high on it, you're going to indicate that
you're coming here, you're meeting with them. A franchise, as much as people want to say it's not a good job, it's a tough job, it's a fantastic job. This is a great brand, and it's the right job for the right person. So I am glad that he didn't take it. And just like when we went through the last go-around, right, they were trying to get Ty Lue. He even had a birthday cake.
I remember that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Laker birthday cake in Vegas saying...
When everybody thought the deal was
that's
done.
That's right. And then, you got Vogel. He came in, won us a championship, right? I'm excited about who's going to come in.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating because at least according to Jovan Buha from The Athletic, there was no plan B. They didn't have... It's like I always thought, well, Dan Hurley turned it down, so they obviously go back to J.J. Redick. It sounds like that may not be the case. Where are you on the concept of J.J. Redick as the next head coach?
I mean, listen, obviously they're getting paid the big bucks to make those decisions. If it is J.J., then I'm hoping we have a very experienced bench around him. I'd like for them to bring somebody, the thing that I liked about the Hurley idea was it was an experienced coach who's not just here to coach LeBron. And then when he's gone, we're looking for a new coach. It's somebody who could build the next sort of generation of post-LeBron, right? And all these guys they're talking about now seems like they're here in order to take care of our stars now. And I'm hoping we get somebody who can lead us past 2 or 3 years.
I think that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, because there's no choices left.
Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly think you need a different coach you need a coach for right now, and you need a coach to develop after this. I don't think that they thought Hurley was going to be the guy that could coach LeBron and then coach beyond, and I just don't think there is such a person that can be effective in both of those worlds.
But isn't that usually, and I just want your opinion on this, sometimes you have people who you bring a coach, and then you have a top assistant, right? That top assistant is supposed to be the guy who's got great, potential for the future. He's potentially going to go get another job, right? And you're training him to be your next coach for the future, right? Maybe they set up something like that.
So a line of succession.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to approach it.
Here's a long shot name to keep an eye on. Jared Dudley, assistant in Dallas, was on the Lakers bench when they won the title in 2020. Is close with both LeBron and AD, so Macy checks that box of get you through the LeBron era, and very well liked by everybody in the building.
Now,
I'll just throw that out there as a possibility.
But why would he be any less competent to take the position than a J.J. Redick?
He wouldn't, but
I think he'd be more competent.
I'm just saying that particularly, I don't think the Mavericks are coming back in this series, but he was part of a staff that they can't get Jason Kidd because he just re-signed with the Mavs. I think that in a lot of ways, Jared Dudley's the next best thing. I just think he'll be on the list. I'm not saying he's the guy. He'll be on the list.
Here are the Vegas odds. Redick remains the favorite at 1-5. James Borrego is at 3-1. Sam Cassell is at 9-1. Chris Quinn, Tyronn Lue, who's signed now, that's not off the board. David Adelman, Kenny Atkinson. Those are the names.
Yeah.
Redick, Borrego, Cassell, Quinn, Adelman, Atkinson.
We'll see what Sedano says. He's coming up here in a second. But I think Borrego and or Atkinson, one of those two gets the Cavs job.
Cavs job, yeah. That's what I heard.
Borrego's the favorite to get the Cavs job. Adelman is the second pick to get the Cavs job.
So that takes somebody off the board,
exactly.
too.
Well, Jacob, this is a monumental day.
Jacob, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You've broken. It's like
you.
when Phil Mickelson finally broke through and won a major.
Hey, finally.
Yeah,
there you go.
We are very happy for you.
Congratulations.
Game of Games is brought to you by The Real Deal. Jacob Amrani, if you were involved in any kind of accident, he is the guy you want. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Or remember, calljacob.com. We'll see you next week. Good seeing you, man.
See you guys.
Good to see you, Jacob.
Time for some Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
I got my megaphone back last
There you go.
Hey,
Cappy's
look at this.
got his megaphone back.
We have Cappy here in Sedano's in Dallas. Hi, George.
Hey.
How's life in Big D?
Pretty good. We had a nice dinner last night at Nick and Sam's, and, we may go back tonight. Who the hell knows?
All right, I'm going to give you a good hole in the wall. You got something to write this down with?
Sure.
Okay. Mexican joint, not too far from the arena. Ojeda's. O-J-E-D-A apostrophe S. Probably seats, George, I'm not kidding, 500 people. Huge restaurant. Food is fantastic. None of it's expensive. I recommend the enchiladas de fajitas, which is a combination of enchiladas and fajitas. And it's very, very good. Perfect lunch spot, George. Not great for dinner, but perfect for lunch.
Got it, George?
Perfect. That sounds good.
It's
I'll go there.
O-J-E-D-A apostrophe S.
So, John, I'll go there
on Maple, George. It's on Maple. Street.
Got it. I'll go Thursday after the off-day media session.
Perfect. Now, I'm hearing, and you're probably hearing more than me, I'm hearing Porzingis 50-50, but it's probably less than that. Are you hearing the same thing, that there's a good chance he might miss the game?
So I think there's a chance, right? Because you know this as well as anyone when you're kind of dealing with these injuries. So he's got the leg injury on the left leg now. The previous injury that he missed 37 days for was the right leg. And he didn't come back in the game the other day. And I think the key to all of this is Joe Mazzulla said today, we're taking it out of his hands. He's going to want to play. We're going to leave it up to the training staff. So when that gets said, I feel like historically, more times than not, the guy will want to try to play, but they won't let him play.
Right. That's what I think, too.
Yeah.
Cab, how things?
You know, if I were Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, what would you do if you were Joe?
I would be like, dude, you are not playing. We are up 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay? If it's 2-2, maybe. If it's 3-3, definitely. But at 3-3, we've given you a few days.
Right.
You know, for me, he ain't playing. We're up 2-0.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to win without him. I think Boston defensively
is this just a walkover?
George, I think so. I think that Drew Holiday has put the clamps on Kyrie. Luka is obviously hurt. I think Boston wins tomorrow. Maybe Dallas steals game 4, but I think it's Celtics in 5 in 6 tops.
So if they win in 5, George, do the math with me here.
Yeah, if they win in
5 or 6, George makes the Mandy's.
But if they win in 5, let's see, it's Wednesday night, then
Friday night,
then Monday night.
George, is it 2-3-2 or 2-2-1-1-1?
No, it's been 2-2-1-1-1 for over a decade.
Right,
John. Come on.
No, I mean they for years.
Well, John, the last time, John doesn't know because it was the bubble. So everybody was the home team.
Jumped on him. No, it's been like that forever. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, the last time John did a finals that wasn't in the bubble, it was 2-3-2.
Yeah,
that's right.
True. I worked 8 finals, and all 8 were 2-3-2.
Yeah. They changed it after the Lakers.
So what's the deal? So it's Wednesday, right? Tomorrow, then Friday, then Monday. Does that sound right, or is the game on Sunday?
No, there's got to be a game on the weekend.
Wednesday,
right?
Friday, Monday.
Wednesday, Friday.
Oh,
Monday.
wow.
Okay. And so if it goes to 5, then that would mean you could be back here Tuesday, and then the Mandy's are on Saturday.
Perfect.
Okay, great. No problem.
Right.
Yeah.
No problem.
It's not going 7.
No, I don't think
It's not going 7.
I agree with you.
Shadano, you're in for the Mandy's, I think.
Well, I mean, he won't know.
I would be stunned if it went 7.
Now, do you know, out of curiosity, Cappy, since we're on that, do you have your Mandy's gear lined up? Do you know what you're wearing? Your stylist, anything?
I do not. I've been working with a couple of different people.
Yeah.
Which is to say that I'm looking at a variety of different things. Now, see, in year one, I wanted to be a promotional vehicle.
Yes.
So I had these Sunday Swagger T-shirts cut up
Yep.
and posted Sedano and Cap all over the jacket.
Nice, yeah.
Didn't really go over so well. Nobody really got it.
No, I didn't get it.
Nobody-
But I now that you explain it.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Nobody seemed to get it. Even George didn't get it. He's like, why do you have Sedano and Cap on the back of your suit? Like, you ruined his suit. I'm like, yeah, but don't you get it? It's like the Sunday Swagger
Sunday
shirt.
Swagger
I actually
sh-
took it to a seamstress. She cut it all
Oh,
up.
really?
she-
And then nobody-
It fell flat.
No, that's
it
too
fell
bad.
flat.
Yeah.
That night, by the way, the night of Mandy's One, where I was honored to have won Host of the Year.
Yes.
Big
Oh,
shocker
are
to
you
everybody.
rubbing that in?
No. It's
You're
just that-
here rubbing that in
No,
with
it's-
me here talking about how you won Host of the Year.
Well, but do you remember the picture that I took that night, that naked picture of myself?
Yeah.
You remember that picture.
Mhm.
George told me not to post the picture.
Yeah.
He said because the Mandy Award itself is mirrored, and you could
yeah.
actually see what people don't really want or need to see.
Yeah, right,
you
right.
know? But I did take the picture that night naked of the three Mandys.
Yeah.
Year two, I wanted something from the Russell Westbrook collection. You know, what would Russell Westbrook wear to the Met Gala?
Right.
And that's why I went with the flowered suit with no shirt, with the chains. the
I
glasses,
remember
that.
it. Yeah, I saw that.
This year, I'm having a hard time because I really want to take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what to do. So, did you guys see Kelsey Plum, the WNBA
Yep,
star
I did.
who walked in the night that they were getting their rings, and she's
Yeah.
wearing those black pants with like that vest where her guns are out and her abs are ripped and her chains are out.
Yeah, but you don't have her guns or her abs.
Correct. Problem. That is a problem. You're right, John. That is the problem here. Now,
She's available, by the way, Cappy. She just got divorced from Darren Waller,
I
the
saw
football
that.
player.
Yes, and then he's retiring.
Now I'm
after-
looking at what Kelsey's wearing. I don't recommend
Let me
this for
see.
you at
Let me
all.
see. Let me see what
at
you got.
all.
Let me show me what you got.
Not at all.
Let me see.
Not at all.
Yeah, that's it right
Yeah,
there.
you're not.
That's it.
You should
don't-
not wear that.
You don't think I should wear that?
No, you should
I don't think you'd
definitely
look
not
as
wear that.
good in it as she
No,
does.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
but
no,
that's-
little black vest and black hot pants is not for you.
Now, Lindsay, baseball has suggested to me to go into the Bad Bunny realm.
Oh, interesting.
Where Bad Bunny's got on this floofy, fluffy, some sort of hat schmata going on.
Yep.
And these little tiny glasses that just barely cover his eyes.
Yeah, he does have those.
And,
You're right.
and like these pants that have like a stripe, but they're on the inside rather than the outside.
Yep.
So I'm kind of thinking about the Bad Bunny thing. I don't know, man. Like, John, last year you really broke out some good threads. What do you got going on?
Mason and I have a surprise planned. We do not have it ready.
Nope,
And
not
it
at all.
It may crash and burn.
Yep.
But we are efforting.
We're going to try something.
Well, year one, you went with like the Liberace look, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then last year I went very loud purple.
Right.
And this year we have something planned.
Yep.
But it may not work.
May not work.
It may crash and burn, actually.
Okay, how would you qualify your first year's Mandy's?
Year one, all I got was like a sequin jacket.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay, right.
Silver sequin jacket and silver shoes.
And then last year?
Last year I went to
You
my
went to the
designer,
green, the
Amazon.
blue.
I had
Right.
the different colors.
Looks
I looked
sweet.
like a
Yeah,
Batman
last year
villain.
I liked your outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Now, George has a different philosophy, I believe, on Mandy's gear. George, do you...
George is a minimalist.
Yes.
Yeah, George,
yes.
how would you what would you say is your theory on how to dress for the Mandy's?
I dress normal.
Yeah, dress normal.
He might be the only one.
Yeah.
Him and Slee. No, Trav will too.
Yeah, travel dress
Sedano,
normal.
Trav, and Slee will dress traditional.
Yeah, there is no best dressed winner.
Yeah,
There's-
I dress normal, George says. I just put
Yeah,
on a
just fine.
jacket and a shirt and a tie and
Just any other
look
night.
like a respectable guy. Unlike you three.
We
who
should
just-
do best dressed next year.
That's not a bad idea, as having a best dress.
Or maybe even do it on social, like during the red carpet part.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because George and I were having this conversation yesterday, and it kind of bothers me a little bit, and I'm just wondering what you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys looked at the nominations? I mean, Mace, you've probably voted a bunch by now. I'm
I
sure.
vote every day. I
Yeah.
vote once a day, always under a different name.
Always for himself
I
for host
voted
of the year.
By the way, today I voted as Veronica Corningstone.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So
Very nice.
every day it's a different movie character votes.
Okay, so here's a question for you guys. Have you looked at the category of most hated?
Yes.
Well, I think it's a two-horse race.
Yeah, but I mean, there's one horse we really want to
I think
win.
it's either Morales or Bergman, don't you?
Yeah, but hold on. My big issue with the whole category is, have you seen who's nominated?
I think, aren't we all nominated?
No.
No.
Travis and Slee
Interesting.
are not.
So think about that. you got Corporate Greg.
Yeah.
Okay, he is right now 3-1 to win most.
You
hated.
think so? Because Morales wants to win this so bad.
But Morales is 2-1. Morales is 2-1. He's your favorite right now. Then you've got Bergie at 3-1.
It is interesting because the only people who are listed are Morales, Bergman, Shadano, Kaplan, Ireland, and Mason.
Why? Why is that?
Well, they had. I mean, last year
I hate that damn Slee one. Nobody ever says that.
Well, plus last year, one thing I noticed there were two. There were two.
Travis sucks.
There were too many nominees in all the categories. Like when they read the nominees, it took forever.
Oh, that's true.
It did.
So I think this is an improvement that we have fewer nominees.
Fewer nominees, yeah.
But aren't there a couple of categories that are like there's like 100 people?
Personality
nominated?
of the year is like everybody.
Why is that?
Who knows?
Because they don't want anybody to feel bad that they're left off.
I will not feel bad. Take me out of everything.
Take John Ireland out right now.
You've already got you're going to win again.
But here's the
best
thing.
play-by-play, best most informed.
Okay, but those should be the only two I'm in for.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, take me out of everything else. I mean, just to make it.
You can win host of the year.
Nah, make it go faster. I'd rather it go faster than win host of the year.
He just wants it over. George just wants to.
No, Sedano and I have a race. After they pick. It'll probably be either you, Cappy, or Slee as host of the year. Whoever gets in his car and gets on the freeway first, the other guy owes him $5.
Now, Cappy, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I'm going to the friggin' after party.
Oh, hell to the yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
If it were any other day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, really? Well,
because we're doing it right in the big tent, right?
So here's what happens. So when the trophies presentations are all over and there's
I've got nothing. I'm empty-handed.
Me too. Good night, everybody. Have a nice night. Right. Instead of going to the bar where we were last year in the middle of Commerce Casino. This year, the lights, Chris says, are going to come halfway up.
Yep.
And the after party happens right there.
Nice.
Okay, and that's when the Tito's starts to flow, and the Coors Light, and the Tequila Mandala, and everything else that we like to drink around here, right?
And me and some guys are going to sneak out and go play poker, too.
Oh, really? You're going to play poker that
night?
night?
Sneak out and play poker.
What about a little weed before the poker?
I can't. I won't.
It affects your concentration.
I do not.
Right?
I would not play well on weed.
Okay. Just want to make sure because if Mace is like, hey, I'm going outside over here with Big E.
I have a loose handle on the game as it is.
Okay.
I don't need a joint.
Okay, gotcha.
Before my poker game.
Okay, understood.
But we're going to do some of that.
Okay.
And some of that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So George, are you telling me that this year when the Mandy's are over that you are racing to your car? You're not going to
No, we are racing against each other to our cars.
Come on, George.
A race against time.
It is. First guy to get back to the South Bay wins.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Mace, you got a hotel room at the Commerce Casino?
I don't.
Why not?
Because I'm going to Uber?
Really?
Yeah.
Not stupid by any means.
No.
I know, but I got a room.
Yeah, I got an Uber.
No, I'm getting a room so that we can go all night long. All night long. All night. And then the next morning,
Yep.
whoever's coming down to the cafe.
Breakfast with Cappy?
No,
Is Rachel coming?
So she originally told me she wasn't coming.
She told Juan never to go because she got ignored last year. So Juan is like, absolutely not, under no circumstances, because Rachel said not to.
She last year felt like we got pulled away and she was by herself the whole night. So what she's doing now is she's actually inviting friends, like her fun friends.
Oh, that's smart,
And
yeah.
she's bringing friends. Now, Morales doesn't know this yet, but I need 8 tickets to the Mandy's.
Good luck
Of course
with that.
you do.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And backstage passes.
Backstage passes?
VIPs. Right.
Well, okay. What's it worth to you
Yes, sir.
if I put my ticket for the Mandy's up for auction for one of your girlfriends or one of Rachel's girlfriends?
No, you had it right. You had it right the first time.
Yeah.
They're
All right.
our girlfriends.
All right, so what are we talking here?
What are you saying? You're saying that
You're saying you won't go.
No, I'll say no one's going to ask me for a ticket.
Oh, I see. You've got an extra ticket.
Oh, yeah, so do I, technically. Yeah, Cappy,
I'm
you can
saying
have
no one's going to stop me or Sedano.
Yes.
I can sell my
Your
ticket to
ticket.
Cappy, but what's it worth to you?
Oh, yeah.
$49.
Yeah.
That's the price
Technically,
of the
that
ticket.
is
Do
correct.
you understand the concept of markup?
I do, but right now there's still a couple available, so I can go
Okay.
in and buy the last couple.
Put a 0 at the end, and we got a deal.
Oh, sure.
I'll tell you what. You may be onto something here. Hold on. Both of you guys should do me a favor.
Okay.
I mean, I already got you a Walton pin and a Walton shirt, so
Oh,
you know what?
nice.
I deserve at least some money for
Those
the
things
ticket.
are
That's
cool,
true.
too.
Let me ask you guys a question. Could you guys do me a favor? Could you guys send an email, please, to Christopher Arthur Morales,
Yes.
who's walking in right now, and tell him that you need a room at the Commerce Casino. Then when we get to the Commerce Casino, you give me your room key so that I have more than just my room. I've got 3 rooms. So that, what do you mean?
We're not paying for your room this year.
What are you talking about?
No.
Not happening.
You're on your own.
What do you mean not happening?
Yeah.
Go buy your own room.
You asked me
So, Chris, if I want a room, I got to pay for it?
Not you. You can. We'll do you.
Oh, you get it. Yeah.
You and I will
me.
talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
now,
he wants. You're going to
here.
give one for free there, and then he's going to take the free one.
There's moving
Why do you
parts here.
always create havoc when it comes to the post game? To prevent your havoc that you started last year, we've spent extra money to make sure the tent stays up till 2 a.m. There'll be 14 bartenders. There'll be drinks and food in the tent.
Okay, right.
Okay, 2 a.m. isn't late enough for you?
Oh, no, it's late enough for me. But then, here's the thing.
He wants to go, in his words, all night long.
Well,
by 2:30 a.m.,
Yeah.
Rachel will have him tied up in leather.
God bless her.
That's the way it goes over there at the Kaplan's.
Okay.
So the thing is that John asked if Rachel was coming. I said originally she wasn't going to come, but now she is, and she's recruiting like fun, hot friends to come with her.
That's great. They can buy a ticket at
$49,
ESPNLA.com.
ESPNLA.com.
Mm-hmm.
He says Chris, he says he needs 8 tickets.
Not
in.
happening.
And
You got
VIP
one.
passes.
You got one.
Yeah.
You know that a guy sent me a text today. He goes, "Hey, a friend of mine says that there's this big event going on at Commerce Casino, and he asked me to get a couple of tickets for him. So can you hook it up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can hook it up, no problem." And I sent him a text, ESPNLA.com. Listen, for $49,
it's a good deal.
Dinner and 2 cocktails.
Yeah.
And the show.
Where else you getting dinner and 2 cocktails for $49?
Nowhere.
And you get to press the flesh with Cappy.
Right.
And if you play your cards right, I guarantee, listen, Rachel might look you up and down, but you might get invited to the private after party.
Oh, which is why I
the
need 3
private
hotel rooms.
after party.
Now I'm going to be disappointed if Rachel doesn't look me up and down.
Oh, she probably will. She'll take a good look at you.
Yeah, no, she'll take. I know what you're.
She might think that
potentially
you.
wearing. She's
Listen,
gonna look you up and down.
John, she might get the vibes from you that you want to be tied up too.
Well, Chris, I never close the door on anything. You
See,
know me.
there you go.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good
Speaking
man.
of tied up, I'm going to be this afternoon, so that means Shadano and Cap and live imaging Tuesdays now. See you tomorrow at 1.